going on, everyone? It's Nina Infinity. Welcome to my channel on this Wednesday. This is Infinite Talk, and I'm here with my co-host, John Talks. Hi, John. Hello.
What is up, everyone? How are you doing?
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
I like your golden shoe. That always trips me out.
Thank you. It's funny. I was typing. I just now, of all times, typing "We are live," and then I accidentally typed "We are lice," and I almost
oh no,
posted it live. So, but I'm doing good. I woke up literally half hour before the show, so I'm still like waking up. But yeah, hope you guys are
woke
doing
up.
well. Yeah.
Yay! Thank God you're here. But we're also here with Verbal Riot.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Hey. Nina, thanks for having me on the show again.
Of course. I love hanging out with you, especially because you go to Marvel movies I don't want to see. And then you tell me what they're like.
Yeah, I'm doing the Lord's work here.
You really are. And that's why I was like, okay, Dante, come back and tell me, because like the last time you went to when you went to Captain America and you said, it wasn't so bad. I was like, okay, you know what? I'll give it a try. And I did enjoy the performance by Harrison Ford. So like that was good. And I was like, okay, I kind of trust Dante's reviews now. So I'm gonna tell him to come back.
It was just okay, right? It was just an okay movie. It wasn't great. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen.
What about Thunderbolts in comparison?
It's almost about the same, except I have more issues with Thunderbolts for some reason.
Oh, okay. Are you going to get into those reasons when you say for some reason?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to talk all about that.
When before we do, though, I did see this right before when we went live, and I thought I should share it with you guys because I thought it was funny. It's a clip of Harrison Ford finding out Tim Burton considered him for Batman. So this is his funny response.
Did Batman ever come up? Tim Burton, it said that you were on the list to play Batman way back when.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Oh, no. It never got to you. It's okay.
I could have had a career.
Tim Burton, it said that you were.
I don't know why I just love this dude, man. Like, he's just so funny.
Well, he's at that age where he just gives 0 Fs. You know what I mean? Like, he just does not care.
Got the IDC energy.
Yeah.
You get more of it the older you get. It's a superpower.
Oh, I'm feeling it now, man. I mean, I turned 50 last year, and I'm like, I'm kind of feeling that now, where I just really don't care.
Yeah.
Wow.
About much,
I've been feeling that since I was 20. So when I get to 50, that's going to be really expedited.
It's a whole different level of not caring.
Oh, absolutely. It's
just wait.
I'll put you another way. I usually, I live in LA, and when you go out, you kind of dress up, just to go anywhere, right?
Yeah.
I found myself a few weeks ago at the grocery store, like literally in slippers and my pajama pants and like a robe. Like,
you're like the Big Lebowski, man.
That's the levels of not giving a fuck that I'm talking about here.
Oh my God, Dante, like that is so funny because I've always thought, like, because I always see those people in the grocery store. And I had a mixed feeling about them because I was like, those people have either basically found the secret to existence and not giving the fuck, or just basically like need help, like immediately.
Right.
Going one of two ways.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's
a very thin line. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a very thin line.
Oh boy, it really is a thin line too. Okay, we have other things to talk about tonight. Like, did you guys hear about all the Superman rumors that are going around?
A little bit
about the monkeys.
Yeah, a little bit about that.
There's monkeys involved. There's a lot of monkey news recently. Like, I heard about how like there's men want to fight a gorilla. And I'm like,
I don't know where all this is coming from, man. Like, for some reason, like gorilla and like monkey news is like the big thing right now.
Like, it's really in right now. I saw this thing about John, would you fight a gorilla? Like, would
no,
you
kind of retard comes up with these ideas in the first, like, what is it, 100 guys versus one gorilla?
Yeah, it was originally.
Yeah, no.
Originally, it was a lot more spicy. Did you see that one, Dante? Like how it started?
I kind of did, and but I still don't understand the logic in this, man. Like I wouldn't fight a guy with Down syndrome. I definitely wouldn't fight a fucking gorilla.
I mean,
Oh, dude, you
like,
have
at least is there a scenario where we absolutely have to fight the gorilla? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, paint a
Is
picture
it like
of like
Congo?
it's
Like,
life or
Jesus.
death. You know,
And
like,
even then, I know I'm dead.
right? You know,
Right.
but like, I'm not gonna unnecessarily pick a fight with a gorilla. Like, I will be the last dude to go at that gorilla. It's like, you guys have at it. You know, if you.
Wait,
I
are you
don't-
okay? So, John, if this was the hypothetical scenario,
I mean, have you ever
Would
seen
you-
a freaking gorilla? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, they'll rip you apart. Like,
they
it's
get
not.
mad.
eh,
They get big mad. But okay, so let's say this hypothetical scenario did happen. Would you just not be there at all, or would you be in like the last wave?
Why is this even a question? Like, what kind of idiot is like, I'd be the first one to go, I'd be the first one in line, and like,
You know that's Andrew Tate. He's like, I'm taking that monkey. I'm the first one.
Oh,
I'm gonna bring
God.
him
And
down.
you know what? Godspeed. I hope he does do it.
yeah,
I
you
encourage him to do it.
yeah, you go
I did
first,
too.
man. Like, it's all you, bro. Well, what was the other one where it was like 1 out of 7 men think they can kill a lion or something?
What?
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
saw-
see
Stupid
that.
statistic. Yeah, I mean,
I didn't see that.
we've got an epidemic here.
You know
of,
what it is I think
of-
we've missed the gladiator rings. I think people really need the Coliseum back. I think
Oh,
I think
that's
they
your
wanna-
answer. That's your answer. A brutalistic, like, oh, we need more brutalism.
That's
here.
what it seems like.
Well, maybe we've lost something. Maybe we have lost something.
No, it's not. It's
you know,
not that
for
we.
sure.
It's not that we need that, Nina. I think what's happened is we've lost. I think the more like tech savvy we get, the more invested we get in technology and AI and the internet and all that, we've lost touch with like common sense, right? We've lost touch
Yeah.
with nature.
We
We lost the
become
respect for
retarded.
nature,
Just
is what I'm
say
trying
it.
to say,
Just
right?
say
We
it,
lost that
Dante.
respect that the old timers used to have for nature because they know you don't go fuck around and pick a fight with a lion or a gorilla, right? We've lost that common sense now.
Yeah, it's true. We really have. I mean, it did say there was a study that didn't need to be funded that said using AI is going to cause us to use less of our brains. Well, I can tell you, I can
We
tell
can't
you that's
afford it.
happening already.
We can't afford to
we're
lose any
already,
more.
we're already, yeah, we can't. Like, social media has already did a number. AI is probably gonna be the final nail, man. We're gonna be
Totally,
Also,
100%.
if you want to see what an ape can do to like a human being, I encourage all of you to watch the movie Nope by Jordan Peele.
Oh,
good.
There is a scene that if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. The chimpanzee scene.
I've seen
It's
that
the
too.
scariest thing I've ever seen.
That
I've
was
seen
pretty
many
fucking
horror films,
frightening.
and I've never seen anything scarier than that chimpanzee when he gets turned loose on the audience.
And that's just a chimp. Like
That's
a
a chimp,
gorilla is
not a gorilla.
fucking, like 3 times as big as a chimp.
Yeah,
Well,
That thing is huge.
Isn't it that chimp?
Uh,
Like, wasn't there a chimp that ripped a woman's face off?
oh,
yes.
ate her face off. Yes.
Oh, it
That-
ate it.
Yeah, I mean,
they
that's
ate.
enough. I mean, that's enough
Yeah.
for me.
The chimps can be really fucking vicious. Like they're crazy.
Like, it's
Um,
got to be a life or death scenario. That's the only thing where it's like, I have to fight, or I'm
Or I
going to
die.
die, type
Or
of
like
scenario.
my baby's gonna die. Like the gorilla's
something
gonna
like
go
that.
get your
Oh,
baby.
that
or
even
something.
yeah, even
you know?
more so.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, you have to defend your kids or something, but like, that's it. There's no, unless you present this like life or death scenario. I don't really, like, that's your experiment. Go.
Now,
Yeah.
speaking of AI, this dude here said he simulated 10,000 gorillas versus 1 million men. I don't know.
Oh, I've seen this. It's ridiculous.
Why are people doing this? Like, I mean, I just I don't even
Clicks and views.
You want a spoiler? You want a spoiler of who wins?
Yeah, sure. Give us the spoiler. Why not? Wow.
The million men don't win. I put it to you that way.
Are you serious?
Whoa,
We're talking about 1,000 gorillas.
But that's I mean,
these guys
that's
don't
just
have. They don't
numbers.
have weapons, Nina. Like, they don't even have.
Yep. That's how it go. Just like that.
Throwing them.
Notice no gorillas are getting thrown here.
Right.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? It's really unrealistic, and I'll tell you why. Because the first kind of couple of guys that'll see those men being thrown, the other million are just gonna run away.
Yep.
Like that's unrealistic because no one's running away.
Yeah.
There will be at least a certain percentage of people will be like, "Nope, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out on this. It's over for me."
Like the James Woods in Scary Movie, like fuck this.
Exactly.
Well,
Oh
yeah,
my god.
yeah.
This is so
Wow.
stupid. But at least the internet can be a fun place, so we can make fun of ourselves. I don't know, but apparently AI is also going to be a big plot point in the new Superman, which is the rumors are about some monkeys on a typewriter, something like that. Lex Luthor's super monkeys. This article says Superman plot like James Gunn makes online trolls Superman's new kryptonite. That sounds so stupid. A bizarre and rumored plot for James Gunn's Superman has surfaced online, which claims that Man of Steel gets dragged into a world of cancel culture. In a leak, it's claimed that James Gunn sets up Superman to be battered by social media hate, which apparently makes the Man of Steel feel sad. This sounds so fucking stupid.
Okay, here's the thing about this though. Number one, I don't trust any news now coming out of any of these media magazines anymore. They've proven themselves to be untrustworthy, especially Variety magazine, who I'm going to consistently call out every chance I get because Variety is a rag. It's just a rag.
Mhm.
We don't know if this is true, and I think if it is slightly true, from what I've gathered from someone who's seen the film already, by the way, or a screening of it. It doesn't play a huge part in the film as far as like it's not a major plot point.
That's good because somebody else who's seen a screening here has apparently confirmed that, and that's Nerdrotic here saying, "Oh no, super shit rumors and James Gunn's Superman are true." I went to that tweet and then because Jeremy asked him like for real, and then he goes on to say that yes, because at least for the test screening, that this was the case. So I mean, I don't know if that's the same source that you have, Dante.
Well, I mean, because you have to remember too, Superman's going to be fighting like kaiju and shit. So it's not just like him battling internet trolls. That's not going to be like the core of
the main plot of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
you
not
know
like
what?
he's sad for a half hour of the movie, and he's like going through. There's like this montage of him just like going through it over
John,
hurtful
don't be
words.
surprised. Don't be surprised if that's going to be the case, dude. I mean, that could actually happen. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I'm not necessarily. I'm just kind of indifferent on this Superman. I mean, we'll see. I think James Gunn's made some good movies, but I haven't been terribly impressed by what he's presented thus far.
And I'll be honest, it's not the worst idea as far as Lex Luthor being that petty enough to like try to smear Superman's name as much as he can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that, but see, I feel like that's part of a plan. That's not the plan.
Right.
That's not.
And I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree with you.
If that's the sole plan, like, yeah, that's a terrible idea. But if this is just like a little piece of his puzzle to destroy Superman, then that's
but
fine.
also like I think we kind of got a glimpse of that even in the trailer, because in the trailer he's like all defeated and like the trailer is kind of putting out this vibe.
They
like,
threw
Lois
another
is gonna
can.
go.
They threw another can at this guy.
They did. It's true.
What is? I just like. We've already seen a can be thrown at Superman before. Like,
yeah.
Like, why did James Gunn do that? Of all things, he could have threw something else at him. I don't know.
I will say I didn't see any signs with hashtag super shit in the trailer. I mean, I looked, but I didn't see it. But maybe that was missing from that. But the trailer did give me those vibes, like because he's all defeated and shit, and then Lois has to try and convince him to go. And then there's that scene with that one kid like raising the flag, like he's the only one that believes in them because Superman's like been quote unquote canceled or whatever. I don't know, but it sounds really Sounds awful. Now, this person in the chat was saying that they watched Chris and Gary talk about it. JFO says, saw Chris and Gary say on the Nooner that their source said the scene was the monkeys is only 30 seconds long, which isn't so bad. Only 30 seconds? Why
Yeah,
are you
okay,
talking about
okay.
this then?
So we didn't talk about that part where he's basically got like a room full of monkeys typing hurtful things to
Yeah,
about Superman. Is that it? Verbal?
I
Is
think
that
so.
true?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah, I mean something along those lines. I mean, because I heard the same thing that it doesn't play a big part in this. So I mean, you know what? Here's the thing about this movie, man. The marketing has been terrible. The
Yeah.
marketing for Superman has been so bad. I don't know what the hell they're doing over there, Warner Brothers. If I were them, at this point, because the marketing has been so bad, I would beg the people who did the marketing for Barbie to come in and help them market this movie, because Barbie is probably one of the best marketed movies of the current age, or probably of all time, I think.
Barbie and Oppenheimer. Like that whole thing.
Barbenheimer.
Bring that team back, man, to help them with Superman, because they need it.
They were supposed to. I don't know what happened. I heard that there was rumors that they hired the same team and everything, but then I haven't heard a peep.
Could be
about
just a
this
different.
movie.
It's a different thing though. Also, where it's like somebody might. Yeah, I don't know how you go about handling it, because Barbie was not ever a film. Superman's been a thing, and certainly the approaches. But Barbenheimer to me is just like one of those once in a like it's a rare blue moon.
Oh, it was lightning in a bottle. Like,
yeah.
To be fair, that wasn't also a PR team. That was the internet, because like the Barbenheimer thing, you know, that was the internet being like, we're just going to combine the names.
No, but the smart marketing behind Barbie, at least, is what they did was they made the Barbie movie an event, right?
Yeah.
They made it an event where women were getting together in groups, dressing in pink, going to have drinks, and then going to see the Barbie movie together. They made that an event like I've never seen before, right? And I think you know, we need to have that kind of just something for Superman, because at this point the marketing has been so bad that and honestly, a big part of the reason why it's been bad is because of James Gunn, which is crazy, right? James Gunn needs to kind of take himself out of this, man, because right now everything that's involved with this Superman movie has to be James Gunn's this, James Gunn's that, James Gunn's, and it's like, James, take yourself out of it, man. People want to see Superman.
Agree. Tom's been screaming about that for like months. He's like, all I hear about is fucking James Gunn. Can we hear about actually Superman?
Yeah,
like, this is true.
The thing of it is too, it's like James Gunn. He's had some good movies. I think he's had some very solid entries. You know, it's like Guardians of the Galaxy. I think his trilogy is pretty good, but like people are a little torn on what was it, Suicide Squad.
I liked it.
I liked his version.
Yeah, I did too. You know, it's not a movie that I really recall or remember that much, but I remember enjoying it, and it was good for what it was. But
Peacemaker was good. I mean, the show.
I didn't watch the show. I was like, oh, I'm out on this, because I just didn't care.
Oh yeah, no, John Cena really impressed me in that show. He showed some range. He showed that he definitely has comedy chops. Peacemaker's legit. James Gunn also did a movie called Super with Rainn Wilson, which was really amazing. Back in the day, him and Ellen Page. Well, Ellen Page at the time, anyway.
Oh my god!
Great film.
Seems like a lifetime ago.
I know. I haven't said that name in so long. Ellen Page.
Wow, was it Elliot Page? No.
Yeah, Elliot Page. Dan Halen for 2 says, why #super shit anyway? Is Superman Indian? Oh no. It's because he's super, but he's super shit. He's not Superman, he's super shit.
Yeah, that's not what you want really trending, I guess, about your Superman.
No, definitely not. But that's the other thing too. Like, we were talking about this on Toxic Femme, and it's like, why would Superman care? Like, it's Superman. Like, I would just be like, I don't give a fuck what you people think.
Well, it's not about him caring. It's about turning the people against him, is what it is.
Right.
I guess, I don't know. But then it, like, because
he feels bad. He feels sad about. It doesn't. I guess it doesn't feel like the most super-esque thing to do. But also, you want your Superman to have some heart, some emotions as well. You can't just be like a complete.
Wouldn't
You
it
know?
be like like it kind of reminds me of the whole Spider-Man thing with J. Jonah Jameson?
Pretty
Because it's
much,
like
yeah.
it's like every time, J. Jonah's always wanting to put Spider-Man in a bad light or whatever, but then he'll always go and rescue somebody, and then J. Jonah like is forced to say, "Oh fuck, Spider-Man rescued somebody else," like because he's trying to report the news. So it's like in this case, it would be like, well, all Superman has to do is go rescue a couple people, and then it'll like be like, oh look, Superman rescued somebody else. It's pretty easy to be like, if you're Superman and you're being canceled on social media, just go rescue somebody, like, bring a cat off a tree or some shit like that. And people will be like, oh, look, Superman rescued a kitty off a tree. It's,
Well,
I don't
I
know.
guess the other thing too, from what I've gathered about this movie, is like we're dealing with a younger Superman. Like he hasn't been Superman very long in this
Yeah,
universe.
that's it.
So
But I
I don't
thought
know.
that I thought
I'm
that
not
was
trying
the
to excuse it. I'm
opposite.
just saying that this is what,
But I actually thought that was the opposite because Gunn was saying that he's going to be a more seasoned Superman. That this isn't a,
Really?
like an origin story. He was like, he's
Oh, no,
going to
it's not an
already
origin
be
story, but
Superman.
I think it's supposed to be like
Wow.
a year 2 or 3 kind of thing where he
Oh,
hasn't been doing it that long.
okay.
Because from what I gather, the other heroes in the movie are kind of looking at him like this newcomer. Like, who are you? Like, where did you come
Ah,
from? That kind of thing.
I see. Okay, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm still gonna go see it. I'm a little bit bitter about the news, but I also think like, is this at first when I heard this, I was like, is this some sort of Snyderverse like thing where they're trying to like shit on this movie and then
It could be.
it's
It really could be, man. Like these Snyder Bros are dedicated, man. I got to give them that. They are committed to. I mean, it's the weirdest thing to me. Like, I've been in this film business for a long time, and there's certain directors and certain people you rally behind.
Mhm.
Zack Snyder, I don't understand that at all. You guys are rallying behind the shittiest director in Hollywood. One of them. Like I don't get Snyder Bros at all, man. I'm sorry. But you know what? No. Let me be fair. Zack Snyder is a very good cinematic director, right? Like to me, it seemed like he would always be a better DP than an actual director. You know what I mean? Like he has a good eye. I
Mhm.
think him telling a story though is where things get retarded. So I don't know.
And a million Snyder Bros cried out in anguish.
I don't.
I'm
get
gonna
Snyder
get
Bros, man.
canceled
I'm
now.
sorry. I don't understand it.
Oh my god, reminds me of Michael Bay fans. That's true. I mean, they're kind of extreme too. Like they're like Michael Bay, yeah. Like
Yeah,
I don't
Another
know.
one, man. And I like Michael Bay movies.
I like him too. I like him too. I like him more than Zach. I can tell you that.
Easily.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel you though.
it is. It's kind of like you kind of expect like Christopher Nolan to have. You think like, oh, okay, he's one of the premier guys. So, but
Mhm.
it like the intensity of Snyder fans is just in another place. Like
Mhm.
they might not be as many or broad, but the level of intensity there is very.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
I've
very
like
intense
I've
fan
felt
base.
it very closely. Like when I first started my channel, what was it? The Justice League extended thing was coming out.
Oh
I just
God.
did like one trailer reaction where I was like, "Oh, I don't like the grayscale. Like, everything's gray, everything's sad, like whatever." Bro, like the Snyder fucking people came after me so hard. John, do you remember that?
I think I
That was
do. I think
fucking
I vaguely
crazy.
remember that. Yeah.
It was so
Um,
crazy that I remember Mexican Iron Man, who was a Snyder bro, had to start like posting on my stuff, like in my comments and stuff, like I'm a Snyder bro. She's cool, guys. Don't worry. Like she's one of us, bros.
Leave
Yeah,
her
they speak up for
alone.
you.
People, yeah.
Stop kicking. Stop hitting her. It's like with like a religious fervor almost in
Mhm.
some cases. And I guess if anybody gets mad at me about that, it's just like, take a look in the mirror, man. Like
Mhm.
it's, he's that like he's a man. Okay. He's a
Mhm.
person. Don't.
Yeah, he's not a
It's
god,
just
you
an
guys.
opinion, like,
Yeah. I mean, like I say that, but then Ian So Forth earlier tonight posted something about Star Wars where I was like, how dare you? Like, I was like, how dare you say that about Star Wars? Here, let me pull it up.
Well, here I'll say this though. He's got about Zack Snyder to be, you know, to be a little balanced here is like I like Watchmen. To me, that
I
is
agree.
yeah, that's like one of
I
the
still have to
that
watch
might
it.
be his best movie, one of the better superhero
I
movies.
completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I even like Man of Steel, which I get it. You know, it's a polarizing film. Some people we've talked about this, Nina. We don't
You
need
know
to
what? I
go-
like that one.
I
Like,
hate
I
that
didn't
one.
mind Man of Steel, man. Like, I thought it was fine. You know, like honestly, Man of Steel, Watchmen, and I think and 300 were like decent films. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As
Especially
a
at the
Persian
time.
person, I
Yeah.
can never watch 300. I can tell you that much right now.
Oh,
I've
that
never watched
I mean,
that fucking movie.
I understand. I totally do.
That's fucking some bullshit
It's
right
not
there.
real, Nina. It's well, it's
It's real
mythology.
to me. Fuck that shit.
I mean, look, man, like 3 of my favorite directors are like Quentin Tarantino, Brian De Palma, and John Carpenter, right? But if
Mhm.
people were to like talk shit about them or say, hey, I didn't like their movies or this or that, I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's just a matter of taste. But man, these Snyder bros, man, you say something bad about Snyder, it's like
It's hardcore.
you've called down the thunder if you say something about Zack Snyder.
you're about to get doxxed. You know, you're about to get.
You're about to get doxxed for sure. Ian so forth. Like, speak of the fucking devil here. He says for 25, thank you, so generous, but I'm still calling you out for this tweet. Says it took Rebel Moon to make a lot of Snyder Bros consider their opinions. Oh, that's funny.
That
But,
was
okay.
universally bad.
Yeah.
That was so bad. Yeah, a lot of people like, you know, quieted down after that. I did notice that.
Wait,
the
wait,
Snyder
it
Bros.
took them to get to it took them like to Rebel Moon to get to this conclusion, right?
Mhm.
Like Sucker Punch wasn't what didn't turn them off.
I never watched Sucker Punch because it looked like fucking stupid, so I never watched it.
Sucker Punch should have been the greatest film of all time. You have 4 hot chicks in schoolgirl outfits fighting robot samurai, not Nazi ninjas, and like dragons and shit. This should have been the greatest film ever made.
But it wasn't. It wasn't,
managed to
right?
screw that
Because it was all in their head because they were in the fucking mental institution.
Yes.
Is that
Oh
yeah,
man!
right?
Spoiler
Yeah.
alert! Spoiler alert!
Whoops.
Oh, dude,
Right,
never
huh?
watch this movie. Like there's not a reason to ever watch
I
it.
could tell that in the fucking trailer of the movie. That's why I didn't watch it. I was like, oh, they're in a crazy house. It's all gonna be in their head. This is gonna be so fucking stupid.
But Nina, it's so much worse than what you think. It's not just that they're in a mental hospital. It's like they're being taken advantage of by the male staff.
oh
there.
my god, that is so stupid.
So that's their escapism. Is the fantasy world that they go
Oh
into.
my god, that's so stupid. Okay, so Ian So4 says, I'm tired of hearing people say that under Disney, Star Wars has gotten shit. Wrong. It's always shit. It was always shit.
How dare you,
Oh,
sir?
look at this Twinkie spaceman whose friend fancies his sister and his friends with equipment. Oh, and it turns out their dad is a robot monster. Always shit.
How dare you, sir?
This was me. I was like, what?
Perfect gift right there.
How dare you, Ian?
Well, we do have people because Revenge of the Sith came out, and who was it? Was it the guy from it's escaping me, the Daily Wire, Wallace?
Matt
Or,
Walsh.
Matt Walsh.
Yeah. Wrong Scott. He was basically saying Revenge of the Sith was a terrible movie. And you know, I don't think he's necessarily like I think Revenge of the Sith is a bad movie, but you could still like a bad movie. You know,
Yeah.
a poorly executed film.
There's
but
there's plenty of bad movies I like that I
Yeah.
love even.
Same.
You know?
Same.
But there's a difference to say Revenge of the Sith isn't that good, and then to say like, yeah, Star Wars was always bad. But I appreciate the hot take of it though, of like
That's the
just
hottest
totally
take
like
right there.
Yeah, that is
you know what,
a
Star Wars altogether,
flaming.
all crap. Just
You know what? That's a flaming take.
that's
How dare
that's
you?
Andrew Tate, man. I think that was his first tweet on Twitter X. He's like, never seen Star Wars, never watched any of them.
Yeah, that's a red pill take right there.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, I'm too cool for school. Like Andrew Tate is just one of those people. It's like, oh, I'm just like, fuck those nerds.
How to
I
not
don't
be a
know.
millionaire? Watch Star Wars.
I don't think Ian's like that. But seriously, Ian, though.
How dare you?
It makes me
Classic
rethink
Dante.
some things, though. Like, yeah,
Does it?
what if he? I don't know.
What if he's right?
What if we barely even scratched the surface in terms of like what a great film could be? Like, just because we haven't seen it, it hasn't even yet existed. So it's so far away from us. You know, we think that movies like 2001: A Space Odyssey or Citizen Kane are the greatest films of all time. But what if they are the lowest on like human potential?
Yeah, but how do you measure that though?
You measure it by other films, but it's a thought exercise.
Because I mean, look, film is all subjective, man. Like, there are shitty films that I absolutely love, and there are great films that bored the hell out of me, right? Or quote unquote great films, that people say are the best that I didn't like. So I mean, it just depends. And I'm a critic, so I mean,
what? Name both. What movie like that is supposed to be like the best? Have you watched it? You're like, oh my god, this movie's shit.
Okay, not that I thought it was
the
shit,
opposite.
but I just wasn't like blown away by it, right? And people get on my ass about it, but I'm sorry, it is what it is. The Godfather. I thought it was a fine movie. I thought it was fine, right? I wasn't moved. I wasn't blown away by it. It was just, I can acknowledge that it's a good movie. It's not, and I've only seen it twice, and I feel no need to ever go back to it again. Like, I've seen it, I just don't care. Another one will be like, and this is going way back, and most people don't care about this, but like Citizen Kane, right, which is considered one of the greatest films of all time.
I still haven't seen it.
I thought it was just fine. Like I didn't think it was the greatest film ever made, like everyone says it is, but I mean, that's just it, but again, it's subjective, right?
Yeah.
Like, one of my favorite films of all time is a movie called The Warriors, and everyone knows it. It's a movie from the 70s about these gangs that all come together to go hunt after this other gang. And it's a movie with about 15 minutes of dialogue, but I love that film.
I've never seen it.
Cool.
Oh, it's a great film. There's a movie called True Romance, directed by Tony Scott, which is one of my favorites.
Tarantino, I think, wrote the
script.
Yeah.
Escape from New York. And again, these aren't movies that are lauded by critics, but they're movies that I like,
Yeah.
No, that's the other aspect of it where, like, film is in art too. There's a level of subjectivity to it. Whenever somebody calls it like, well, it's objectively bad, it's like, okay, that's fine, but just give me the reasons why you believe it's objectively bad. You can't just say, well, it's objectively a bad movie. Okay, well, since you have such vast knowledge of what is objectively good, dig deeper. Bad, like, please tell me, what are your objective reasons as to why it works or why it doesn't? Because I just feel like that's such a blanket statement to make about something like, oh, it's just an objectively bad movie. Like, it's kind of like hands down, I win my argument.
Yeah, I've had people say that to me too, John, when they're like, I say, I thought this wasn't great or like whatever, and they're like, well, you're stupid. It was, and I'm like, okay, how? Can you explain? Can you expand on that?
Here. Yeah. No, that's I like what Verbal's saying though. Just because it is it's controversial, but when you take a movie like The Godfather, and I could see that, maybe it is a little bit overrated. Like, maybe it isn't, I don't know, maybe at the time when it came out and there was a certain zeitgeist and a certain thing that was happening in when it came to people going out to see movies, and it just blew up, right? But now, I mean, I still think that it's a great film, but I do think that it might be a little bit, I don't know, like, it might be a little bit overrated at this point myself.
Well, I told somebody on another show the other day, like, what I thought the perfect movie was, and no one could believe what I said. But I'm like, guys, if you really think about it, it kind of is, man. And I think,
what was it?
Back to the Future. I think Back to the Future is as close to a perfect movie that we've had so far. I think on every level it works. On every level, right? And so
I
And by
can't
the way, not one of
disagree.
my,
I love that
it's
movie.
not in my top 5, but I can acknowledge that it's literally probably the closest to a perfect movie that we're ever going to have.
Mhm. You know what? I love that the director came out and was like, "We're never remaking this fucking shit. So stop asking. Like, we're
Yeah.
never doing a sequel. We're never doing a prequel. It is what it is. It is perfect as it is." And I'm like, thank God. Like somebody finally was like, "I'm happy with the work I've done. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not doing a prequel. I'm not doing a sequel. Just stop it."
Yeah,
we got the movie we got. We don't need to like, dredge it up anymore.
No.
Yeah. How do you
I love
how do you
that.
improve upon something that's nearly perfect, or it's about there? Like it's like when Ben-Hur, they tried to remake Ben-Hur. It's like
That didn't happen, did it?
no, they
No, they
remade
did. They
Ben-Hur.
made a remake of Ben-Hur.
Yeah, just
They did.
nobody even remembers
No one saw
I
it.
watched it.
yeah, like because you're never going to improve upon Charlton Heston, Billy Wilder. Like you're not going to improve upon the scale of that film. You're
No.
just not.
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
like, why bother? Like take a terrible movie and make it better, or a terrible movie with a good premise and do something with that. But don't.
I don't understand why they don't do that more, right? Stop
Yeah.
taking
Mhm.
movies that we love or TV shows that we love. Take stuff that didn't work
I agree.
and redo it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think at this point they'll just make it worse. Like there's just certain things that are like really bad and you're like, I just like it because it's bad. Like
It's
you're
so
like,
it's just fun.
yeah, it's just fun. Like you're like, I
Oh
don't
my
care.
God,
just
I
like
love
watching
Madam Web. I thought Madam Web was like it was the most fun I had in the theater in a long time. It was hot garbage, but
Yeah.
I loved every second of how bad that movie was.
That see,
I
now you're
watched
making
that
me wanna
movie.
watch
I
it.
watched that movie twice just to try to like dissect, just to try to like get my head around. Like, okay, like obviously
You
there's a
watched
lot.
it twice.
Because here's the thing about a bad. I think you get to a point. Like I'm at a point right now where it's like I either want to watch like really great stuff or just anything middle of the road to me is just so whatever. It's just boring.
Like a waste of time.
Yeah. So it's like I rather watch a bad film and learn because there's something to be learned from both. But when
Oh,
you see something that is like middle of the road, paint by numbers, predictable, or
That's boring.
completely uninspired.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I'd rather see a train wreck. Give me a train wreck or give me the Mona Lisa. But I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
kinda where
feel
I'm at.
you. Okay, well, speaking of train wrecks, let's talk about Thunderbolts because I mean, I feel like the
Well, that's
MCU
a
is
great
kind of
lead-in.
on that track.
That's a great lead-in. Especially since
Um,
we're talking about something being uninspired. Like this is a great
right.
lead-in.
So you
Real quick,
saw
though,
Verbal, right? Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it Monday at a premiere with Chris Gore and Alan Ing from Film Thread, and we were there with a bunch of other YouTubers, like guys I see all the time, like guys from the Real Rejects and all these other reaction channels. So it was like kind of like almost like influencer night there that night, and
Okay, hold that thought real quick. Hold that thought. Ian So Forth, thank you again for the 25 that said someone liked my tweet. Only one person was kind enough to spare you a like. That was a terrible take. And then Matthew Hammond for 2 says, you are not going to watch a bad Tony Scott movie.
I
don't
agree.
know who that
No.
is.
Tony Scott, I think, and you know what? I know this is a hot take, and I've said it before. I think Tony Scott's the better director.
Out of Ridley and
Yeah, between him and Ridley, I think Tony Scott's the better pound for pound, movie for
Dude,
movie. I think Tony
hell
Scott's
yeah,
the better director.
Ridley has lost his mind. I just looked Tony Scott up because I'm bad.
he's
with the
just
names.
lost
And
his touch.
He
you
lost his
know?
yeah,
touch.
he really has. He really,
He's
really,
got the
really
old man
has.
disease where he
Yeah.
he doesn't have it in him anymore. I wish he would stop, to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Same. Just
Like,
retire,
stop,
man.
Ridley. Like you're hurting yourself here, man.
What was
Yeah.
that vampire movie by Tony Scott? Verbal. Had you ever seen that one? The
Is it called Vampires?
No. Man, this
The
movie,
Hunger.
The Hunger. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Man, it was
I've never
weird. I
seen
felt
it.
like I had a case of insomnia while I was watching it. So it even made it a little bit weirder. But like that movie had vision. Like you could tell this was by a director who had he just kind of like he had his own, which Tony Scott does have a distinct visual style too.
He really does, man. And I that's what I'm saying. And you know what, to be honest with you, to be fair, who's to say that, if he had lived to be older, maybe he would have fallen into the same shit that his brother fell into, and maybe his movies wouldn't have been as good. But because he died kind of young,
Yeah.
we're left with this great catalog, and his name never got blemished. You know what I mean?
Wow, David Bowie vampire movie. How come I've never watched this before?
It's weird. I never heard of it, and I must have. I see. Maybe it was on Amazon or something at the time. But yeah, I just wound up I was just watching something, and I just wanted to watch something, so I wind up watching this film. And it was just like, dang, this movie was. It was actually engrossing, and it was. You kind of get the feeling like, man, they don't make them like that anymore.
I definitely want to watch this now because I love vampire movies, and we're going to be talking about a vampire movie soon after this Thunderbolts reviews, guys. So hang on to that. That's
We definitely are. Let me talk about Thunderbolts though.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we're all there in the theater, and and it's funny because when we go to these premieres, we always see the usual suspects. But for some reason that night, we did see a lot of kind of newer faces at this thing, and which was good. We're like, cool, more people are showing up. Maybe these are some new YouTubers or new media that's hanging out. So the movie itself, look, here's the thing: no one had any real expectations for this film. Let me put that out there, okay? This is a middle of the road movie. This movie was never meant to move the needle for the MCU. This is just a movie that they slapped between Captain America and Fantastic Four, right? So it was almost kind of a throwaway. So with that said, I guess there shouldn't be that much expectation put on it. But even with that, it still did not perform, man. It was. What's funny? I'm sitting there with Chris and Alan, and we're watching the movie, right? And we're all through the whole movie, we're looking at each other like, this is bad, right? but here's the thing: right behind us, man, there was I don't know, the back 2 rows, 25 people that were all sitting together that were laughing at every lame joke, that were clapping at every action scene that happened. And I'm like, are these people paid to be here? Is this
they plant them here?
Going on here? We're like, there's no way they're this excited about this film. We're not watching the same film at all, right? But no, the movie is just it's just not good. That's the thing. It's not horrible. It's just so meh, right? And they take a villain or a character from the comics, the Century, who is sort of the villain. I have to say sort of because he's not exactly the villain. Who is basically Marvel's version of Superman. He is probably almost more powerful than Superman, right? That's how strong this guy is. He'll go toe to toe with Thor, the Hulk, those guys. And I'm like, so why would you bring a character into this where this team of misfits, right? And some of them have powers, some don't, and even the powers they have aren't super great. You know what I mean? Why are you putting them against basically a god, right? They have to fight a god, and so the premise was already weak. But then when you find out how they beat him in the end, that's where everyone kind of groans. They're like, oh, no way they went this route. There's
even
way.
the people who were clapping and laughing and stuff.
No, they were still clapping, but everyone else was looking at each other like, oh no.
Everyone that wasn't paid to be there.
Yeah. All the people weren't paid, we're like, really?
See, the other group is like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
For those who want to watch it, there are a few good moments. There's 2 good action scenes too. There's some jokes that land, not many, but there's a few jokes that land. But overall, the whole movie is about mental illness. The whole movie is about mental health and how if you don't take care of your mental health, that it'll basically destroy your life, even if you're a superhero, right? And they beat the villain by. See, I don't want to give away spoilers, but
by taking care of their mental health.
It just wasn't. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus,
I feel like this is bad for my mental health.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who I normally like in things that she does. I loved her in Elaine and Seinfeld. I love her in
love her, yeah.
She is so bad in this. She is a cartoon character in this movie. She's supposed to play the bad guy, and she's so unconvincing.
Yeah, I mean, I saw her because they introduced her character. I think it was Falcon and Winter Soldier. Was that in that one? Yeah. I remember like her introduction, and her introduction wasn't great either. Like I wasn't like, oh, I'm so excited about Elaine as like the big bad guy. Like I was just like,
Very interesting
I don't
choice
see
for
it.
your villain or your bad
Yeah, I
guy.
mean, you have to
I'm
remember,
not
like
seeing it.
the premise of this movie is so thin because of the fact that pretty much all the characters we're looking at are side characters in another property, right?
Mhm.
Most of them are side characters from a TV show no one watched. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're putting this band together of people no one really knows unless they've watched, Falcon and Winter Soldier, or they watched a Black Widow movie, or you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't know
Yeah.
these characters, or Ant-Man 2.
Yeah.
If you remember the villain in that film, the Ghost. I mean, it just none of this worked. And honestly, going into it, my hope, like the only expectation I had for this film was, at the very least, hopefully I'll just get a fun action movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
At the very least,
That's about all you
right?
can ask, right?
I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting for anything deep, meaningful. I just wanted a fun action movie where I could turn my brain off
Yeah.
and say,
Yeah.
hey, I'm just having a good time. Kind of like I did with Madam Web.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And to some extent, Captain America, like I thought it had pretty decent action, like especially with the Hulk like part.
Well,
It
there was a
fun.
more cohesive story with Captain America, which is sad to
That's
say.
insane. That's probably
That's
saying
That
a
is
lot.
crazy.
I know.
What I've heard.
That is very sad to
Wow.
say. But it felt like this movie was all over the place. And as much as I like Sebastian Stan, I like him a lot. I think he's a good actor. I've seen him in other things. He's a presence. I love the Winter Soldier as a character. He was phoning it in the whole film.
Mm.
Mhm.
It's almost like he didn't even want to be there. He didn't
He's
want to be
probably
in
under.
this
He's
movie.
probably under contract with.
Well, what happened was there were reshoots where I think they
Uh,
added more scenes with him in it. And I just
Oh,
don't think he wasn't filming it. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
yeah.
and Florence Pugh, the thing people liked about Elena, the character, and other things, is that she's kind of plucky and she's kind of, sarcastic and funny. She was none of that in this. She was depressed. She was
Oh
depressed because of
God.
mental health.
Man, like superhero films are about. These movies should be like about escapism, about having some fun, not going into the problems of the real world. Like
Yeah, superhero movies you said like want to make you forget about your own mental health issues or like whatever. Like you're like, I'm just having
Yeah.
fun watching a superhero movie where it's not like the superhero is not going to have my problems.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
No,
like-
that's it. It's a fantasy. That's what these things, at least in my mind, they should be. Like it should be. Like when you start interjecting like real world politics into this stuff, it's like Star Wars when they started.
Mhm.
Well, we're not going to go there, but it just becomes a lot less fun. Like like you were
Yeah.
saying, Verbal. Like it should just be just like a good fun
A
action.
good popcorn flick where you can
Yeah.
just, and by the way, I feel like it needs to be said, and most of you guys who know me already know this about me. I went in there like 2 gummies in, you know what I mean? Like I was feeling nice, you know what I mean? Had a
You're
couple
like,
of
"I'm
beers
here."
right before at the Yard House. Like we always do a pregame at the Yard House where we have a few
Nice.
beers and go watch a movie. So I went in there I was feeling nice, you know what I mean?
I was,
Yeah.
dude.
So the movie's
I-
really not good. Like this movie is really. It was a buzz.
because I
It was a
can get into
buzzkill.
it feeling that way, you know what I mean?
Dude, that's how I watched Wonder Woman 1984. And I tell you, I was like the only person that liked the movie because I was like, when she was flying, I was like, girl, I'm flying too. Like, we're flying together. This is fun. Like, I was
That's what I'm
having fun with that
saying.
movie because I
And
was
if you
like,
can't
so.
feel that when you're feeling that way, then yeah, this movie has some problems, man.
Mm.
Going back to the cast, David Harbour. I mean, I felt like he was trying. He was trying to be like the comic relief. He was trying to be funny and not bring the movie totally down. He had, the funny moments. He overdid it so much with that. Like the shtick got so old of him being the boisterous, a bull in a china shop, Russian guy. It just, that act got old like by the first 10 minutes. Of the
That's
film.
the guy from Stranger Things, right?
Yeah, guy from Stranger
Yeah.
Things who plays Red Guardian in this film. And then
Yeah,
John Walker.
He's
sorry, go ahead.
like that too. He's also like that in like Stranger Things. It's like your whole act is getting old. That guy's just getting old.
He's
It's
kind of
like-
one note. No, really, he's kind of one note at this point.
he is.
So he added nothing. And then Wyatt Russell, who I thought was probably the better of the cast, who plays a U.S. agent. He's like, the dark Captain America. But of course they make him the joke of the film. He's the butt of every joke in the film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And someone said, "Oh, that's because he's the white guy." I'm like, guys, the whole cast is white. Relax. It's not because he's the white guy. but
what
I
color
will
is
say,
Sebastian Stan again? And this other guy that
I'm
we
like,
just talked
guys,
about.
come on, like the whole cast. But I will say, yeah, maybe because he's the guy holding the American flag. He's the blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy holding the flag, that they make him the ass of the jokes. But yeah, this movie just wasn't great. But the weird thing about it is, I still don't know how it's going to do in the box office. I have no idea. Like I have no measuring stick for this movie at all. Like I was talking with Chris about that. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we didn't like it, us critics, but how is the general audience gonna,
I
take to
think
it?
with the general audience, at least for MCU movies, I can't see this one doing well because of like it's not a major one. Like it's not like Captain America. And how did Captain America do? Like Captain America 4.
Not great. Not the way they needed to. But here's the problem with Captain America. Because of all the reshoots and how much it cost for all that. Like if you were looking at just if it was just a regular film and they were on schedule, they didn't have to do a bunch of reshoots, Captain America probably would have made a profit.
Yeah.
But because of all the reshoots, they're still down.
Well, and they have reshoots for this one too, but that's even
But
besides
not
the
as
point.
many, though.
Rebel.
Not as many. Yeah.
But that's even besides the point. My point is the like the audience's like desire to go see an MCU movie, because I think it usually like there's a big desire when it's like a main character, and then you have these kind of like riff-raff. Well, people are like, do I want to spend like $70 to go see a movie? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just there's a certain aspect where you're like, I don't know, and I have to do homework for this movie. Like, who are these characters again? Like Disney Plus, I have to watch all these shows. Like, so I don't know. I don't know if this movie particularly is going to do as well just because of the homework aspect alone.
Oh no, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. And you know what? I've said this before, but now that I'm thinking about it, I was joking before, but now I'm thinking, I had a pretty good point. I think Disney got too comfortable, or they got too excited about what they could do with unknown characters, just because of how well Guardians did. Right? Guardians of the Galaxy did very well. That was a group of characters that no one knew about, no one ever read comics, you know what I mean, except for me. I mean, I was reading them back in the 80s. I was like and even then, amongst comic nerds, I didn't know many people reading Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's an unknown. It's a very
unknown property.
But the thing is, though, there's like a huge difference in that, because you're talking about a set of misfits called Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's in space and then like there's different planets, and you're like, oh, like the MCU is so big, like there's like all this like other things that we have to discover about it. Whereas with this group of misfits, they're on Earth and they're talking about their mental health. Like there's nothing exciting about this. Like I'm just like, but where is the excitement? Like,
no,
how am I
but what I'm
get
saying
into
is
this?
too comfortable, like instead of focusing on characters that people want to see, right?
Yes.
If you look at the past 5 years, we've gotten Kamala Khan. We've gotten, you know what I mean? We've gotten just characters who we don't give a shit about.
Yeah, they're not mainliners.
Make us like, and it's like,
stop it. Just stop.
Focus on the characters that people want to see.
That's how I feel about like
Marvel,
even
like that was kind of the beginning. Well, I agree with you though. Like Verbal, like after Guardians, man, it was just like, oh wow, we've got all of this to work with, and we can make it.
They have a whole lot to work with, but they don't know how to do it.
No.
And you didn't do a fantastic. You didn't do X-Men. You got X-Men, and finally they've gotten into that a little bit. We're finally getting a Fantastic Four movie. Daredevil. I don't know.
But Daredevil didn't even do well, man, and that's what's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Right. Daredevil was a loved property when it was on Netflix, and to see how well it did on Disney Plus, like it didn't do well at all.
Yeah, I think people are checking. I think they're kind of checking out though. And part of that is because of like a lackluster Marvel, what was it, Phase 5 or whatever that was,
Oh
or
yeah, it was.
Yeah, that this
post
whole
Endgame.
phase.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
DC just hasn't been really rolling out any bangers that I can think of. I mean,
No.
the Batman, I really enjoyed it. Felt like a breath of fresh air, but a lot of people didn't like it. So
I liked it a lot, but yeah.
I
yeah,
was
I mean,
mid. It was mid for me. Like I
yeah,
liked it until I didn't because I didn't like the ending. Like I was like into it. I was like, okay, I'm into this. I'm into this. Oh, but I don't like Robert Pattinson's weird emo Bruce Wayne and like
yeah.
and then she became all fucking weird and like the whole like, that whole end speech. I was just like, "Ugh, what is happening to this movie?" But there's a lot of good things about it too. Like John, we've talked about this before, like the cinematography and the score and a lot of good things about it. But based off of that, the Penguin was fucking amazing. Like I
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
Penguin a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Probably
and
one of the
then
best things we've gotten in a long time.
I
Yeah.
think that's probably my favorite superhero thing we've got. Not that it was a superhero, it was like a villain, but
Comic book.
the comic book thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been stale. It's
Yeah,
been
that's what I'm
real
saying. Like,
stale.
had they been releasing just even like okay movies to, or good movies to bangers, I
Mhm.
think people would still be in. But I think people have kind of just gotten. I think the superhero movie fatigue has kind of set in at this point, and maybe
Yeah.
it is going. I don't know if we'll ever get to the way of the Western, but it is just kind of like.
That's enough.
Unless you're gonna come with some radical new that's the most disappointing thing for me to hear what you're saying, Verbal, is like you didn't try anything. Like you didn't really take any big swings. You didn't
Mhm.
really go for the fences. You just played it
Mhm.
middle of the road and okay. Like now
But
we're
the crazy thing is, man, honestly, if you were to give a better writer that group of characters to work with, it would have been a better film.
yeah.
It would have
Mm.
been a much better film. Like, here's the thing: those characters can work in a film. Like, you
Yeah.
can do something with that. But Disney, they don't hire, actual writers, man. They hire company men. They hire people who are going to be Disney writers. They don't
Yeah,
want
toe the company
writers.
line. They're
Yeah.
not doing what John wants them to do, like, break barriers and like do
Oh
like
no! These are
go,
people who get a syllabus and
yeah.
or an outline, and they're
It's
told
cookie cutter
make
shit.
a script out of all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cookie cutter shit. It's fucking boring. That's why everyone's just like over it.
Yeah.
And they just want to push messages most of the time. And I feel that. Like, and it's funny that you like somebody in the chat said, just he deserved his own show. Justified Penguin got his own show. You know what's funny is I didn't think so. Like at the time, I was like, oh, okay, he was good in the movie, but like really like a whole show to the Penguin, like who cares? And then I watched the show, and only because Anna, that Star Wars girl, was like, "You will like it, I promise you." Like, watch the movie, the series, and I watched it, and I was like, "This was fucking great," because it had good writing, and that's the issue. Because when you have good writers, then you're like, "Oh shit, this can actually be
A good
really
writer
fucking
is a game
good."
changer. A good writer
It,
will make anything work, man. And a
Mhm.
lot Disney is just not about hiring good writers at this point.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
it's
watching
crazy.
Andor right now. And here's the thing: I love the first season. Look, I've defended that show on so many other shows where I'm like, the first season of Andor is a solid show. This
Wait.
season,
You started this show by saying that I trusted your reviews, and now you're going to tell me this.
no,
You're going to
I,
tell me
I
you
like
liked
the first
Andor
season.
season 1.
This season has been not good. It's almost painful to watch at this point, man. And I'm not even going to get into the themes of it, but again,
Ooh,
it goes back
yeah.
to writing, man. If you don't have good writers, you could take something that was good and make it fucking awful, which they have.
John is like, "Wait, this is bad? Maybe I'll watch this." Because
No,
it's
no,
not good bad.
this sounds like the bad. Yeah, this sounds like the bad that I don't want to watch.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, yeah.
yeah, Andor to me, because I watched probably like the first 3 episodes, and I heard it even got better as this season, the first season went on. I just didn't necessarily have the patience with it, but yeah, to me it was like I'm like, it's taking like it just feels a little too serious for Star Wars, at least on my barometer. But I'm not to say that Star Wars can't be serious or anything, and you can't do that type of show. But I don't know, maybe yeah, I'm just not hearing great things about season 2. That's for sure. A lot of
I just
people
don't
like
get
season
the
one.
point because I'm like, okay, yeah, you want to make a show about like how the empire is bad or whatever, but then you're doing it like on a place where it's all about just the human aspect of it. Like, where are the aliens, man? What is the point of Star Wars without aliens? Like,
Well,
if
you
you're
do
not going
see
to
more
show
aliens
aliens,
in
there's
this
no
season,
point.
but yeah.
There's no point. There's no point at all. To me, I'm like, if you're gonna want to do Star Wars without aliens, just stop it.
Well, I think
Just don't
Tony
even bother.
Gilroy did. Did he do the second season of Andor too, or do I do I have
No,
someone
no,
else?
I think he did. That's a good question. I think he did, or he was involved in some kind of way.
I know he did some reshoots with Rogue One, and I think he really helped. He helped that movie a lot by the sound of it. But
Magnum North for 5 says Disney is casting writers. Tony Gilroy is a great writer, which is why Andor is the best of Disney. Aside from Tony, it's DEI bullshit. That's funny because you guys are still talking about that guy, Tony Gilroy.
Yeah, I mean he's a fantastic writer, man. He did the Bourne movies, the Jason Bourne movies. I mean
I like those. Those are good movies.
he's a solid writer, man.
he did Nightcrawler.
And such a great film.
That was great. Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Completely underrated.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this next topic, which is actually a good movie. I liked this movie. I thought it was a good movie. I'm talking about Sinners now. And I'm sorry that you haven't seen it, John. We're gonna talk a little
I'll
bit about
eventually
it.
see it when it comes out on streaming, probably.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
it's a great film.
there's a discussion going on about it. So we'll try not to spoil it then. Like, we'll be vague. Because I still want John to like enjoy it for what it is.
Plus the audience, I imagine, there's probably a good chunk of people that haven't seen it yet either. So
That's true. That's true. Although this movie's done well. Like it has done very,
no,
very
it's
well.
kind of what movies need right now is a good showing.
I went by myself because my husband does not like like vampire movies. And I forced him to go to Nosferatu, and he was like, "Yeah, like I can't do it again. Like, there's no fucking way." So I was like, "Okay, then I'm going by myself." So I got myself a little VIP ticket, and I went, and I freaking enjoyed the hell out of that movie. I thought it was fucking great. I love the soundtrack. The music was just fantastic. And I personally didn't see any racism in there. Like I heard like whispers before I went that the vampires were white and that there was like that they were gonna make the white people bad. Like what this was gonna be like one of those white people bad movies. And then when I saw it, I was like, I did not see that. And I think that the vampires being white was just like a happenstance because I don't think they were white the whole time. Like it was like a passed on thing.
Well, the thing is, they were white, but they're they. Yeah, and it's hard to talk about this while giving things away. But I will say that they're not black and white as far as character goes, right? Like, yeah, they're white skinned, but they're not necessarily the worst things in the world, even though they're vampires, right? Like I'm trying to dance around it, but yeah, no, it was weird that and I did a whole video on it, like how people are calling it woke and they're saying that it's it's white man bad and that kind of thing. And I'm like, guys, first of all, are you saying that anytime a white dude plays a villain that there's racism involved? Right. So what was Hans Gruber? Was that racism in Die Hard because of white dude played? You know what I mean? Like let's stop this bullshit here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pull this up, Dante, so we can kind of see this argument. Now I like Jason Whitlock. Like I pulled this clip up because this is the one he pulled up, but he did put the full thing on there. If you guys want to watch a longer version, we can.
Yeah, Whitlock's an idiot, but yeah.
Well, I think what's funny is I really like him. I like him. I like a lot of his takes, especially about basketball because I hate LeBron James. And I hate I don't like Stephen Curry. I think they ruined at the NBA.
What? You don't like Steph Curry?
No, I fucking can't stand Steph Curry. I can't stand Steph Curry, and I can't.
I understand like
stand
LeBron. People hate LeBron because of the whole GOAT. do you think he's the greatest of all time or whatever, and that whole controversy? But you hate Steph Curry?
Yeah, I don't like Steph Curry.
I
just
don't
like
hear that often.
That's like he's not.
I don't like him
he's not
because I don't like him because he changed the NBA, and
But
now
it's
every
not
single
his
person.
fault.
Yes, it is because he's a
No,
chucker. He's a chucker.
But
and
he was good at shooting threes, so why?
He brought in a range of basically an entire. He introduced a new age of just a bunch of chuckers who all think they can be like him, and they're not.
It's not like he had this diabolical plan of changing the NBA. It's just something that happened as a result of.
I can
style.
hate him for it. I can absolutely
That's
hate him for it.
I just don't see Steph Curry as that kind of guy that you just hate.
I hate him. Really, with a deep passion. Hi, Script
Doctor. Do you hate Steph Curry?
Who?
Well, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's
it going? I think you're alone on this one, Nina. But
I know. I'm
maybe I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I'm alone. That's
the
fine.
Pistons are bringing back bad boy basketball, so we got that happening.
Look, I was really rooting for the Rockets, but it's not happening. Right? I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm one of those people who watches basketball. I don't have a favorite team, but I have teams I hate, like the Warriors. So I will watch and I will root for the opposing team. Like whoever is playing against the Warriors, I'll be like, I'm for this team. As long as you fucking beat this other team that I don't like. Ooh, see, Spike says you're not alone, Nina.
Okay.
I've
never heard of this before.
Yeah, and he's woke, and so is Steve Kerr. The whole team is shit. I hate the Warriors.
You can hate that. Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr is
great
coach.
Awful.
Great coach,
Great coach.
But yeah,
but an awful human being.
Points are
but anyways, we're talking Script Doctor. We're about to talk about racism in Sinners. And this is Jason Whitlock. He usually covers basketball, which is why we're talking about basketball right now.
I don't think he's a basketball sport as opposed to talking about movies.
He talks a little bit about everything, right?
He does talk about a little bit about everything, but he mainly is like a basketball. He used to be that's how he got his platform. Mainly was talking about basketball,
oh, okay.
But now he's expanded to pop culture and whatever else. And
that's why a white Canadian invented basketball.
Well, he loves white people, so.
But hearing him talk about movies is like listening to Matt Walsh talk about video games. So
or anime, or anything that's not a conservative religious point.
Yeah, I think conservatives with their take on the arts is like.
Well, it's a wonder why they don't dominate it. I mean, there are the ones that do really well are a lot more. They're a lot less risk averse than the ones that don't. I mean, that's just true. When you take a look at people from the 40s up until the late 90s, there was almost a 50-50 split with regards to political ideology because there's a lot more harmony between the common goal of I want to tell a really great story. Yeah. And that has faltered on the extreme right and on the extreme left because it's like, okay, Daily Wire, they don't come up with anything original. They come up with things that are reactions to something, and they don't actually give it any nuance or depth that is required of the arts. And they say, well, this is just like what the left is doing. It's like, well, no, this is just what the crazy, hacky writers on the left are doing.
Right, because in the hands of a good writer, Lady Ballers could have been a good movie. It could have been a funny movie.
It could have been better than Joanna Man.
Yeah. Oh, easily. Yeah.
Yeah. I never watched it.
Me and Paul Chatter were coming up with tons of better jokes for Lady Ballers than what was actually in the film.
All right, let's watch what he has to say about Sinners.
I found this movie Sinners to be the most nakedly racist movie that I've ever seen.
Really?
That's my takeaway.
More than Mississippi Burning?
Nakedly racist.
More than the Watchmen HBO Max show.
There you go.
More than American History X. I mean, there's a lot of racist movies out there. I don't know.
Such a weird take, but okay.
Yeah.
Is it for the clicks though, or is it? Does he genuinely feel this way, or is it just like this is the headline he wants to roll with because he knows that it's going to?
I can't tell anymore.
It's
can't
definitely
tell anymore.
attention grabbing. Well, is he going to say something like Haley Steinfeld is playing a black woman that passes for white, and that's racist?
No,
he said the
let's
most
continue.
did he say the most racist? Like
nakedly,
yes.
the most
Naked.
nakedly racist.
Nakedly.
Into Birth of a Nation. And
Wait, what?
listed-
Whoa!
Wow.
Whoa!
Wow.
Whoa,
Oh man.
John.
See, that's like the yeah, Birth of the Nation has a reputation of being
The
like,
most
the
racist film
worst.
ever made.
Yeah.
There's no
I don't-
way.
I've never
President
even
Woodrow Wilson's
heard.
favorite movie.
I've never even heard of this movie. Like, what is this movie? Birth of a Nation? I've
Oh,
never even heard.
oh my God! You, Lena, look it up.
I think
Yeah.
the Ku Klux
That's all I'm
Klan
gonna
are
say.
the
Look-
heroes in
look
the
up Birth
movie.
of
I
a
think.
Nation.
If I had to take a
Holy
guess.
shit!
If I had to take
There's
a guess.
no fucking way, dude.
Wow.
Like,
Okay.
stop, man. Stop.
All right.
Get out.
Continue.
Get
I
out.
know
Which
Looney
they said
Tunes-
they've said that was a racist movie too. So
I've seen Looney Tune cartoons that were more racist. Like, get the hell
Yeah.
out of here.
I'll say this: the
Wow.
pause point that you have, he's now got the face of a person that you would naturally assume has to wear a helmet in public.
Oh no! Oh no!
Birth of a Nation. And we've listened to Black people and Black historians talk about the evilness of Birth of a Nation and what it did and blah, blah, blah. And I don't disagree with them. It was programming and propaganda. I just don't understand how we can't see this movie Sinners and other movies that are not quite as nakedly racist, but they all flirt with this. Why? And I don't know the example in the last 30, 40 years, 50 years. Where's the example of the anti-Black movie that is this nakedly racist towards Black people? I can't think of the example. It's only promoted and only approved if it's headed one direction.
Even the white dude is like, "Nah, you
Have I
full of
Dude,
shit."
This guy's trying to figure out.
like trying to think.
Yeah, like where can I take like this racism and like this outrage? Because like I mean, because at the beginning I watched some more of it from the other clip, and he was railing against this movie too. He was like, yeah, so culturally inappropriate, so racist.
What?
And I was just like, what the hell did these guys watch another movie?
I don't
Because
think honestly, I don't think he watched it. I
No,
don't
I
think
don't
he
think
watched it.
so.
I think he's talking out of his ass.
I mean,
If
he
it did
watched
40, it did 45 million. I'm sure a lot of those people that seen this movie are white. I think if it was as racist as he's making it out to be, that there would be a larger outcry about this. You
But
know?
the goofy thing about it is race plays such a little part of this film that I don't
Very
know
small.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah, even
Well,
the
and the
Klansmen in the
only-
movie don't dress up in white hoods.
They don't. It's true. Yeah, and the only reason that race played a part in it is because of the times it was set in. Like it wasn't, and that's one
Yeah.
of the things they mentioned. They were like, "Oh, well, they could have done it in any other time, and it could have been
Oh,
any
shut up,
other
man.
place. Why make it at this time, and why make it at that place? And
Why make any
I'm like,
movie at
why
any time or
not?"
place?
Yeah,
Like,
I
Well,
mean, that is
because
not a
it's-
good argument.
It's a story that flirts with similar themes and similar plots that you see in Assault on Precinct 13 or From Dusk Till Dawn, but he wanted to make it more of his own. He wanted to make it about these brothers, their ambitions, coming back home. You know, there's that old phrase, "You can't go home again." They did, and they're trying to rebuild something new.
After working for Al Capone, by the way.
After working for Alfonso
Mhm.
Capone.
Mhm.
And yeah, they're also trying to shed a little bit of the bad habits that they gained while working for Al Capone, and you know, they were in the First World War, and they were treated like cannon fodder, but they made it back. So they have, you know, they're feeling like they got this chance, and they're taking this opportunity.
We're
for
keeping this
themselves and for their
spoiler free, by the way,
fans.
Script Doctor, because John hasn't seen it.
I mean,
yet,
I
but-
don't care if you guys want to spoil the movie and talk about it, that's fine. Like, don't.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's okay because I want the audience to like kind of have a chance too. But also, like, so they kind of go into this a little bit more. We can watch the rest of the clip, but they kind of go into, to your point, Script Doctor. They talk about how this movie is also ripping off Dusk Till Dawn. And I'm like, look, I'm
Man.
sick and tired of, just because it's the same setting doesn't mean like it's in a bar, like, and it's got vampires. It doesn't mean that it's ripping that off. Like, it's like there's so many different things about this movie that is completely different from Dusk Till Dawn. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not. Dante,
I didn't even
you?
make a comparison to Dusk Till Dawn. Like I know, like, yeah, I mean, there's the
I didn't
bar
either.
aspect, but in this movie, Like in Dust Till Dawn, the vampires owned the bar.
Yeah.
The people went into their bar, into the vampire bar, right?
Yes.
This had nothing to do with that, right? These vampires just happened to hear music, and they went to go, to the bar
Yeah,
where the
to
people
check it
were at.
out. Mhm.
So like it's a very thin comparison from Dust Till Dawn.
And I mean, they go on and on about Dust Till Dawn. Let's hear the rest of it, and then we can
Thing.
discuss.
Have you seen maybe other, the movie that they did with Ada DuVernay and the Central Park 5 on Netflix? It's pretty nakedly racist because it's telling a lie about the Central Park 5 if you've actually watched them confess to their crimes with their parents sitting there. But this is the most nakedly racist. This movie, Sinners, says white people are the devils. It's as if Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam wrote this movie in
Jesus
1930.
Oh my
Wow,
God.
man, he is
What
like,
the-
I
what
don't
are we
think that
talking
movie
about?
exists, and if there is, I do watch a lot of movies, and I like you, even if I don't watch a movie, I still kind of try to keep, like I said, keep an eye on what's coming out at the box office, what's getting approved, because that's a good way. It's people look at opinion polls and they say, oh, this is a great way to understand where the country is. Well, I think looking at the box office is a great way to understand where the country is. Even by the same token that when Twilight was getting big, when 50 Shades of Grey was getting big, it's like, what's going on with women that they're super into this? Or there's that Frida McFadden novel series where it's I think it's called The Housemaid. And by the way, the spoiler alert, what does she do at the end of every book? Is she kills the dad and it's this anti-male female revenge fantasy, and these revenge fantasy type genres are out everywhere. They're some of the biggest things in America, and that's why I was so glad that you were talking about this, Jason, because I don't hear anyone else talking about it. But then you go to the stores, you go to airports, you go to the movie theater, they're literally
Wait, he doesn't hear anybody else.
He doesn't hear
talking
anybody
about how-
calling it the most racist film since Birth of a Nation. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's probably a reason for that.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen the movie, but I'm just taking a wild guess. This movie is like killing it at the box office. If this movie was racist, okay, we'd be hearing a lot more about it.
The fact that
Especially
he
from
even
the
tries
left.
to compare it to Birth of a Nation is
Like, come on,
crazy
man.
talk, man. Like
It's
this guy,
wild.
he smokes more weed than I do. There's no way. There's no way.
He's definitely fucking high on something.
everywhere. And I'm a firm believer in what we put in front of our faces. The media that we consume are absolutely things that then reflect in our behavior. They reflect in our society. They reflect in our culture. And this is something that Andrew Breitbart said. He said that politics is downstream of culture. So what kind of a commentator could I be if I don't understand, or at least try to understand, where the culture is going?
Wait, here's the
So-
thing. Has he ever stated or gave examples of how the movie was racist?
No, I
Did
don't
he give
I
any
think he
examples at all?
does. I think he does in the longer
Oh, okay,
thing. Like
okay.
he goes into like I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched a little bit of it, but they go into like how they think it's a ripoff of Dusk Till Dawn, and how like
He gives
basically it's like super
specifics
racist.
of how it's the most racist film.
He says that because from what I understand, because basically the vampires were white and they were they were turning to black people.
They didn't care about that. They,
Did he miss-
I
did
guess
he-
he wasn't listening to what the vampires were saying.
Did he miss the part though where the black vampires and the white vampires were partying in
hanging out.
unity?
Yeah,
That were-
I don't know.
That were unified, like
They just like the vampire race. Like I don't know, like that.
racist.
There
One
was
community
there was,
connected.
there was a lot of what's so weird is I actually thought that movie was like very symbolic. Like when I watched the movie and I went to it because I was like, oh, I love vampire movies. Like let's go. I'm down with any kind of vampire movies. But when I watched the movie, I was like, this isn't really a vampire movie. This is a movie about like so much more. There's like so much symbolism in the movie. And I think I actually think it was more about the music and music industry than anything else. I think it was about the industry of like how Black culture and the music that they created was basically subterfuged to, like, it was basically taken over and used in a very negative way to brainwash a lot of their generation. And I think that it talks about how music has so much power, and it does. And there's like the theme of the music within this show, and like how it transcends time is so, like, it was so poignant. Like, I was like, when I was watching it, I was like, this is way deeper than just a basic vampire movie.
Oh
This is
yeah,
some deep
absolutely.
shit. Like,
And music was like the lifeblood of the film. Like it was
it
so
really
important.
was. And
Yeah.
and that's why when I hear Dust Till Dawn, I was like, guys, did you watch the same fucking movie?
Dude,
'Cause that's it's not the same
this whole thing is like, even when like there was comparisons made of like Taxi Driver and Joker, it's like, okay. I mean, but those are clearly they're clearly two different movies. You know, like every movie borrows from there's been so many movies made at this point that it's impossible. Like, it's almost nearly impossible to do something that's wholly, completely
100% like original.
Yeah. So there's going to be commonalities that will be found in movies, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Coogler, like, if he didn't even think about Dusk Till Dawn when he wrote or made this film, you know?
No,
like, I'm sure it probably occurred to him.
You can take general themes, and you could even borrow some things from other movies, but it's the devil's in the details, right? Like you can, like, Ryan Coogler, honestly, like, and I could debate this with anybody, and I don't care, you know, what their opinions are. I feel like this movie was a masterpiece. Like I'll go as far as to even say that, and I never say that about movies lately anyway. Right? But this to me was like a modern day masterpiece. I feel like the devil is in the details. There's scenes in there that I don't know how he even, like, just the inspiration for some of those scenes like where the three of them are in the car together, and Delroy Lindo's character is talking about what happened to his friend and the lynching and the whole thing, and then and then he goes from that into like a song, but like the natural progression of that story into like him just making up a song on the spot. And I was like, that was a crazy scene, because
it was moving.
It gave you it gave you the idea of this is what blues music is about.
Yes,
right? Blues music is about tragedy. It's about pain. It's about the way he expressed that, right? And that's what I'm saying, man. So when I see a director do something like that, you know, and then you want to talk about a Zack Snyder, right? It's like, no, man. Like a real director pulls that out of his cast. You know what I mean? Or he leaves those kind of scenes in, right? Like there's an artistry to this, and people forget that, man. Being a good director is more than just, you know, following orders on a script.
Yeah, it's more than 4 words. Action cut. Do a little faster. Do a little slower. You can get pretty far as a director just saying those 4 things. When you actually see authorship in a movie like this, you really appreciate it. And I empathize with Ryan Coogler, because I watched that and I'm thinking, man, this is 3 hours. It's really good. If it was 2 hours, it probably would have made a little bit more money because it has more showings per day. But what do you cut? Because everything is really juicy to watch.
Dude, I couldn't tell it was 3 hours. It went by like that.
It
Like
flies.
it flew for me. I did not. I was like, I want more. Like, I want
I only
more.
knew
Like,
3 hours when I had to get up, and I'm like, oh boy.
You're like, oh no, I really have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like I said, it's the music that, and I will say this also. I didn't get the hype about Michael B. Jordan for the longest time. I was like, yeah, he's okay. Until this movie. Like, I was like, holy shit, this motherfucker can act. He is a good actor. And he played 2 parts. They were both great. I love the characters. Like, the characters were so good. Like, I love the lady that he's in love with. I'm not gonna say anything else. But you know, like the bigger lady.
Character?
Oh
no, the bigger lady.
Oh, the black lady. Yeah. Oh, she's really good. Yeah,
she is really good.
She's so good, and she's the one from freaking what's
Loki.
it called, Loki. Yeah.
Well,
and I was like, I can't believe that's her.
For a second, I thought she was playing his mother until they started talking, and then I'm like, okay, I get it now. But if you watch that scene on mute,
I did too.
If you watch that scene on mute, and then all of a sudden she starts, you know, grabbing him, you're like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
But
I did too. I was like, wait, are they related?
Really,
and then you're like, wait a minute, they're not related. Thank God.
But everybody killed it in this movie, man. I mean, Haley Steinfeld did such a good job, and the thing is, she's the one I expected the least from. And even she delivered. You know what I mean?
All of them delivered. Yeah, me too. I didn't expect anything from her either. John, you got to watch this movie. It's
Yeah,
pretty
no, I've heard nothing but good things about it, and the fact that there's such a buzz going on, I definitely have some good expectations when it comes to watching this movie.
I
I
just also
rarely
said-
ever go to the theater anymore.
And that's why I'm telling you to go to this one, because it's
Yeah.
like, there's some movies you have to make exceptions for, I think, and
Mhm.
this isn't a superhero movie, and there's just so much good, like, especially because of the music, that you will appreciate the surround sound of the movie.
Well,
Yeah.
this
Really will
and,
be
and
worth
that, and
it.
it was shot in IMAX. So I
It
mean,
was shot in
it's-
IMAX.
yeah.
It's also
I
a
didn't
third
know
win-
that.
It's
I
a third
watched it again.
consecutive summer win for Warner Brothers, because they had Barbie, then they had Dune, now they got this, and they might also have Superman. Like they're
Don't forget Minecraft.
thank you
Oh,
very
shit,
much.
that's
Minecraft as well.
right.
I mean, they're almost at $1 billion, man.
Exactly. Like again, I predicted this 3 years ago that Warner Brothers would be the one that leads the charge and knock Disney to the wayside. And it's kind of delivering right now, and I'm really excited for
Wow.
that, because Warner Brothers is, by today's standards, a based company, even because they're not hiring any new people at DEI. Those jobs are expiring this year, and the job postings, which I do get in my email, and it's really funny because the official line at Warner Brothers is, we are definitely opening up. We're definitely looking for more people to fill this role, to replace the people that are on their way out. And it's going to be a very difficult and long process in order to fill these roles. So we're taking our time, which means they're never going to hire people back, but they're never going to not pretend to interview people for the role to make it look like they're saving face on that quarter, which I think is a brilliant strategy, because you don't technically fire anybody, and you say you're actively hiring. You just have to find the right candidate for the job. And you can do that in perpetuity and never have to actually commit. So, I mean, that's a pretty smart move on Zaslav's part. And I think it's silly that there's so much of Hollywood, at least in the media aspect of it, that's covering the industry, that hates the guy, to the point where he's got, in the last 3 years, he's had $4 billion hits under his belt.
Yeah.
And the stock for Warner Brothers has barely moved as a result of that. That's suspicious.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You would think it would be going up high.
It should.
Real
It's
quick,
like $10 a share. It should be like 20.
let me get these super chats real quick. Russell Halford 2 says, I mean, why does the German always have to be evil?
They made an
Yeah.
impact.
That's a good one. That's a good answer. Magnum North for 5 says the trailer for Sinners looked kind of woke, but it's okay with me if there's a good explanation. Just don't give me Marxist BS and I'm good. Look, I didn't see any Marxist BS in there. And as for the trailer looking woke, just because it has black people in it doesn't mean it's woke. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people now have kind of crossed that line where if they see black people in the media, they're like, oh, it's gonna be woke. And
It's gonna be like that magical
It's
movie
not the
about
case.
black people. Yeah, that's what they're worried
yes.
Yeah, and
right.
that was woke.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
And that
one.
should have been a balls out comedy making fun of woke.
I
That-
agree. But
if
no,
it would have succeeded. I think
no,
so.
they stood 10 toes down on the woke, and it was bad, right? But yeah, I think
Mhm.
woke, like you said, it's Nina, it's kind of become the code word for, this cast isn't completely white.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like there's more than white people.
Like
in
a
this.
lot of people have lost the plot of what woke even means. So
Exactly. Like, oh, there's not white people. Russell Halford too says, did Nina just call Steph Curry a spear chucker? No, I said he's a chucker. Not
wow,
a spear chucker, just a chucker. Like he chucks the basketball, even when he shouldn't. And he has inspired a generation
Come
of
on.
chuckers.
This is I mean, what he's good. A guy is good at doing something. He does it. He changes everything, and you're mad at him.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Matthew Hammond for 5 says, I would add Die Hard, Groundhog Day, Executive Decision, U.S. theatrical and DVD, Enemy of the State, and a couple Mission Impossible movies are near perfect. Wow.
Cool.
See, Verbal, not that I didn't love this movie. I really did like it. I don't think I would go as far as calling it a masterpiece, though. Like, I still think it had issues.
I know
Um,
it's not. Look, it's not a perfect film in the way of like. I mean, there are some things I would have maybe like, cut or not trimmed down. I want to say cut. You know, like there's a lot of things that were it wasn't completely perfect, but as far as like storytelling goes, for me, it's been a long time since I've seen a movie where the storytelling is that good, where I can overlook the mistakes.
Yeah.
Right.
That are made.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where I was at with it too. I was like, this is very good, so I can overlook a lot of like
It
not
forgives a lot of
of,
sins. You know what I mean?
some
Like,
of the
no pun
mistakes.
intended.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I don't even think there was a lot of mistakes. I think there was some, and I mean, there's just certain aspects of it that you could definitely make better. But he did great with what he had. Look, man, I always feel like most people too, they don't really understand what it takes to make a movie.
Oh God.
And then it's like
Yeah.
once you make something, especially when it's good, it's like to the critics, it's like, why don't you make something and then mouth off? Like it's really freaking hard to make something good. DL, thank you for being a member for 43 months. That's amazing. It says hashtag make Michael B. Jordan as the new Blade. I think I would rather just Blade like not be made into a movie at all at this point, just because Marvel sucks.
No, bring back. How about this? Bring back Wesley Snipes. You might as
Or
why
that.
not? I don't know. Like, why not? If he's able to do it, like at this point, why not? And why not? As long as Hugh Jackman can make Wolverine movies, I don't understand why they are not making those films.
Stunt couples are still able to pull it off. Heck, Blade, Last Night of the Daywalker. That'd be a great swan song for him.
Bro, I mean,
Snipes,
I mean, I think if Wesley Snipes came back as Blade, it's one of those.
That would make money.
Yeah, I
That
just
would
think it's
make money.
going to make money. So it's kind of like like what Kevin Feige over there is doing. Like some of it is just, it's kind of like mind-boggling because it's like they finally did the Wolverine Deadpool movie, which is like that's a no-brainer. You want to make $1 billion, put Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds together. As those
just
characters.
like you want to make $1 billion, put Sydney Sweeney as the Black Cat in the new Spider-Man. Done. Like it's like, I mean, there's
Spider-Man's gonna. I mean, it's gonna do well based.
It's gonna do well based on the fact that it's Spider-Man. I just don't want Sydney Sweeney to be pulled into Disney's clutches and then have them kill her career before it, in the midst of it actually kind of taking off. So
that's also true. But also DL, Michael B. Jordan couldn't do Blade anyway because isn't he the other character?
Killmonger right now.
Killmonger.
That's true. Yeah,
that's right.
He died, but see how long.
But no one's ever truly gone in
multiverse.
Marvel.
Hey, if Robert Downey Jr. is going to be playing Doctor Doom, I guess we can do anything now, right?
Well, I like how ScarJo.
The multiverse isn't even the easiest way to bring someone back. Like the comics have just resurrected people for the sake of resurrecting them without a multiverse angle at all. So
I like how ScarJo was like, "Look, she's dead. Okay, she's dead. She's not in the multiverse. She's not coming back."
Yeah, but you know what that means though? That means that Disney didn't meet her price.
Right.
That's true.
That's what that means.
Didn't meet her price, and she doesn't want to go back to the gym to work out for the role.
Yeah.
And
what are you talking about? She's been working out for this new Dino role.
Yeah, Jurassic World 7, I think.
She looks great.
Actually, she does. I mean, but she always looks good. I mean,
she's dinoing it up.
Yeah, she's never just like let loose and.
No, she's never
are you gonna
go or anything. But I do know that
she
does hate the types of workout training regimens that are done on this because it is grueling for her.
John, are you going to go to it?
That they put Bryce Dallas Howard through was also pretty grueling as well. Like, it was low calorie, high intensity workout. And
what's crazy? Even with all of that, like Bryce still had major ass, dude. Like this girl, like even with all that training, that ass was still like pronounced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
that's just genetics, man. That's like never gonna go away.
The weight fell off everywhere else, but yeah, the ass was like the last part to go. Yeah.
Where it counted, it stayed. Yes.
Oh my God! All right, last topic of the night. We're gonna be talking about this Katy Perry situation.
Oh, I sent you some links in the private chat.
Yeah, I saw those. We're gonna go through those right after this. Man. So I saw this headline because Katy Perry's kind of been everywhere, including space. So she went to space, and then when she came back, people were kind of like, "Oh, you're lame. Shut up." And then Katy Perry says now that she's been battered and bruised. She's going what Superman's gonna go through in the movie. Yeah. She's battered and bruised by the backlash, and the internet is a dumping ground for unhinged and unhealed. This is like the new Superman plot.
Well, I mean, and the internet is a dumping ground for the unhinged. And unfilled.
That's
It's
not
also a
untrue.
place for everybody, for everybody
Yeah,
else.
that's true.
I mean, where's
That's
the lie
definitely
in
true.
that part?
But it's also an
Um,
honest place. You know, that's the other
Yeah,
thing about the
yeah.
internet is like it's brutally honest because
Mhm.
people that are unhinged and unhealed are just going to there's no they're sitting behind a screen on a keyboard, man. Like there is at some point or another they're gonna hit on some true stuff.
Yeah, there's
So
Okay,
a
but
that's
if
what's
we're,
painful.
if we're being fair here, man, she brought this on herself, right?
Yes.
Like if you notice, like people aren't attacking the other females that went on that trip nearly
Not
as
as
right?
much.
No.
Not as much.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, she
Not at
brought
all.
this on herself. You know, she's like, you know, there's videos of her kissing the ground, you know, when she lands and shit. Like she's been stuck in space for 8 months, like those other two fucking astronauts, right?
Yeah, yeah. And her fucking little flower. And then it turned out that when she was in space, she was promoting her fucking tour because she had like the butterfly thing
Oh,
that
that's
was like that.
yeah.
Like that butterfly thing had like all her like songs and tour dates and shit on it, and she was
And
like
by the way,
floating in-
they were like barely above the atmosphere. Like
Yeah,
calling
yeah.
it space is kind of weird. Yeah, I mean, it's
They didn't really go to space. They like went to
No,
like the atmosphere.
right there. Like
They went right above where
just enough to
weightlessness
call it.
starts. Well, the thing is, like, I didn't see the whole thing, but if she were to be terrified and panicky, but wanting to do it at the beginning, and then at the end she comes down and kisses the ground, that creates a story, like an arc of she conquered her fears, but she's back, glad here. But I didn't see any of that beforehand. It's anything I saw. I'm very excited, happy to go on, and then all of a sudden she comes back and kisses the ground. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
you're creating a different ending to the story that we saw from the beginning. Like she should have been with the others.
Yeah,
like,
and
yeah,
then-
she's like, yeah, we did that. It was cool. It was fun. And that's it. Not thank God.
And
I'm
then
back
she
on
went
Earth.
all
Like,
hippie with it too, with her fucking
Oh,
weird
man.
flower. And she's
That's
like,
what really I
it's
think
the
did.
divine feminine. I just experienced the divine feminine. And
Oh,
I'm just like, dude,
God.
shut the fuck up, bitch. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So this is what the article says. It says Katy Perry's responded to backlash following criticism of her new music tour and Blue Origin spaceflight earlier this month, writing in a social media comment that she's felt battered and bruised, but has kept looking to the light. Look how she's such a hippie, like looking to the light.
Is this
Like,
even real? Like,
you
is this
mental?
even? Is this just like? Do these people just play characters at this point? You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
is it, like, is it all just a stage and they grift off of the?
pretty much, yeah.
yeah, to a
Yeah.
degree. I mean, I
think you're right.
interacted with Katy Perry a few times before she married Russell Brand, and she was very much a down to earth person who knew how to do showmanship. Like, and I'm talking to her, I met her in places that there weren't parties or events. It was just like, oh, I'm at my buddy's house, and all of a sudden, hey, there's Katy Perry. And you're like,
Mhm.
what the heck? And just
Mhm.
casual. And then she marries Russell Brand, and then those two are terrible for each other. And he broke her, and she hasn't been the same since. And it's crazy.
Whoa.
And
That's
then
kinda
Russell Brand,
crazy.
of course, finds his own form of redemption and gets out of Hollywood. Thank God, because he was terrible for it anyways. He's also a terrible stand-up. And
See,
he's
I
only
always thought she
popular
was
because he
crazy
was
before
attractive.
Russell Brand too, though. Like that whole "I Kissed a Girl and I Liked It" song that came out way before Russell Brand was a thing.
Yeah, but she didn't write that. That was something that she was doing, and she had fun with that because we talked about that song. She's like, "Yeah, it's a fun song." That's about it.
now she's kissing the ground and she likes
Now
it.
she's kissing the ground and she likes it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's like that song was controversial. You know, it's just like creating controversy for
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
On April
Yeah,
14th, the pop.
she's kind of going the Madonna route, right? Where it's almost like everything she does now is like she's fighting for relevancy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's doing it 20 years
Doing
before
cringy
Madonna
shit.
did, because Madonna was still okay relevancy wise when she was 40.
That's
Yeah.
true.
She
But
was.
Katy Perry,
She did
not so
Vogue when
much.
she was 40.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like that.
She
That's
was
the other part.
pretty
And
amazing.
then you also have, like, for instance, so Lindsay Lohan, she was normal until she started dating Wilmer Valderrama from That 70s Show, and then she went off the rocker.
Yeah.
And then she
Oh.
had to claw her way back. And that's kind of one of the things you notice is, like, there's certain talents out there when you see celebrity couples come in and then they break up, and then all of a sudden one of them goes off the rails and the other one's fine. You're like, well, which one was really crazy there?
Well,
Because
look
So
at
are you
Britney-
telling me
look at
that
Britney
men
Spears
are
and Justin
toxic?
Timberlake, right? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, there's that too, right? Like,
Britney Spears went way crazy after Justin Timberlake.
yes, and Justin
Mhm.
Timberlake was like normal all the way through that, and you're like, well, wait a minute, if he's normal all the way through that, was he the problem, or was he just more more of a stronger soul to deal with that during that time. You don't know, because it's kind of weird.
You're trying to make a case about toxic men. You don't have to convince me.
Oh no, but it's just all toxic men can create toxic women, and toxic women can create toxic men. It's a terrible cycle.
It's a bad cycle. On April 14th, the pop star was a part of an all-female crew. It's so funny.
In an automated rocket.
Yeah.
Made by a man.
Also including shaped like a man's penis.
Yeah, probably. Well,
It was definitely shaped like a man's penis.
Yeah, that was weird.
Gail King, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we know this part. Though Perry did not address the flight directly, she responded to a general online hate in a lengthy comment under a post from a fan page, Katy Perry Brazil, featuring a billboard purchased by fans to promote her ongoing tour. I'm so grateful for you guys. We're in this beautiful and wild journey together. I can continue to remain true to myself, heart open and honest, especially because of our bond, she wrote. I love you guys and have grown up together with you, and I'm so excited to see you all over the world this year. Please know I'm okay. Jesus. I have done a lot of work around knowing who I am, what is real and what is important to me. Perry then referenced advice her therapist gave her, writing, "No one can make you believe something about yourself that you don't already believe about yourself." She continued, "When the online world tries to make me a human piñata, I take it with the grace and send them love." So why is this making me laugh? Because I know.
Because you're picturing Katy Perry as an actual piñata getting hit by people.
Yes.
That'll be in your next music video.
Or our next stage show, yeah.
Oh my God, it's going to happen. Because I know so many people are hurting in so many ways, and the internet is very much so a dumping ground for unhinged and unhealed. She said that she keeps positive by focusing on what's real, seeing your faces every night, singing in unison, reading your notes, feeling your warmth. How is she feeling their warmth?
That's weird.
I think of figuratively.
I find people to lock eyes and sing with, and I know that we're healing each other in a small way when I get to do that. You know what's weird? In some way, I kind of understand what she's saying, because that's what Sinners was about, like the power of music, because it can heal.
Just don't watch her dance.
Yeah, just don't watch her dance. Like, close your eyes and listen to her sing, and hopefully she won't be doing auto-tune. But still, I'm just saying, like, symbolically, but that is music does have that power. Perry added that she is not perfect, and that she's even admitted that word from my vocabulary.
Yeah, sure, Jen. I'm not. What's the word for the thing that's means you have no flaws? Perfect. Yeah, I don't use that word, but that's what I omit. Like, I believe it if she said it that way, but she says I don't use the word perfect. I've omitted it from my vocabulary. It's like, you clearly did not.
Oh my God. She concluded, I'm not a human. I said, I'm not a human. I'm on a human journey playing the game of life with an audience of many, and sometimes I fall, but I get back up and go on and continue to play the game. And somehow, through my battered and bruised adventure, I keep looking to the light, and in that light, I see a new level unlocks. What is this bitch talking about?
It's just like nebulous. It's just like this like undefined nebulous spirituality.
Well, she does come from a very devout Catholic family.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
I thought
maybe
she was
she's
super hippie.
No, it's like,
divine feminine energy. Yeah, there's a mixture of things probably going on there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
In terms of her spiritual
But no,
beliefs.
she does come from a very Catholic background, like a very like religious. Like, I think her dad's a preacher, I think, or something. Like, something crazy
if
like
I
that.
remember correctly, yeah, if he's not a preacher, he's definitely part of the church, a church diocese. But because when I would ever bump into her through friends, she was kind of like saying, like, yeah, all the stuff I do is a show. I'm actually like very faith-based. And then she gets married to Russell Brand, and now she's this person.
and he's super faith-based.
Well, he wasn't.
Now he is.
Now he is.
Yeah.
He wasn't when he married her.
No, I know, but now he is. Like,
Yeah.
now he's turned to the faith. Now, this is what you sent me, Dante. It says here, since the shitty person is making headlines again, let's not forget that the time Katy Perry sued a bunch of nuns, and none of them died in court trying to keep the property. What?
One of
Oh, yeah.
None
one of
involved
them
in
died.
Katy Perry's Covenant lawsuit collapses and dies in
Oh my
court.
gosh. Dang.
What
God
the
was not with
fuck?
her. Yeah.
What the heck?
That's
Yeah,
wild.
like,
This is from
like because Katy
2018.
Perry's involved in like this real estate company, and Katy Perry got directly involved in this one property where these nuns were kind of occupying, and the nuns actually got into like face-to-face arguments with Katy Perry about this property.
Really? I had no idea.
But she weaseled it out of them. Like, that's the thing. It was a very sketchy thing that she did about grabbing their property.
I don't follow Katy Perry like at all. So I'm
Well, I
like,
only know because like I
Right.
saw Christy covering it, and then I started looking into it, and then I'm like, oh, she's awful.
oh wow, that
Yeah.
sounds awful. My goodness. Okay, so what is this other thing? Here's this video that
Dang,
you
she
shared.
died in court though. Dang, I wonder
That's
if it was after.
crazy.
I wonder if it was after the ruling. Like that would be crazy. It's like, yeah, we're taking
Oh,
we're
no.
taking the property from you, and then she just it's just too
Just
much for her to bear, and she croaks.
My lord.
Oh no, that's
horrible.
sad. Finding out Katy Perry bullied a nun to death. That's so fucked up. That's so fucked up.
It really is, man.
I'm only laughing because it's fucked up. That's funny, like fucked up. Not.
I'm
the
starting to
fact that
think
she-
that
not
Katy
that it
Perry
happened.
and Russell Brand actually swapped bodies, and they're just too dumb to figure out to switch back, so they've just leaned into the role.
Maybe.
It's like a Freaky Friday gone really wrong.
Really wrong.
And caused another one to kill herself.
What?
What?
A
There's
nun
two?
killed herself?
What
You
the
don't-
hell?
you don't
is
hear
even
that. Yeah, Catholics don't really. I at least like diehard.
I
I'm thinking nun
question
is a
these nuns,
diehard
man.
Catholic. Like, yeah, I don't think they kill themselves.
No,
just
they
for
don't.
That
that.
is crazy.
Terrible
I didn't-
sin to do that.
No,
Yeah, that's like a
this is wild shit.
guaranteed. Yeah. Wow.
That's guaranteed
Um,
damnation or limbo at
Right.
the best. I question
says-
the authenticity of these nuns. Do they call themselves nuns, but they're not part of a, let's say, authentic church, but like some sort of cult, like that Jared Leto operates or
No,
Ezra
I
Miller
think they're- I
operates?
think they're actually nuns, man.
Dang.
Wow. Wait, and then it says, I was aware of her sexual harassment allegations and sexualization of underage Justin Bieber. Wait, what? Ew. That's gross. I didn't know that.
Wow, that's another thing, I guess.
Okay, what is this person saying?
Katy Perry, we have some questions.
Yes.
How do you feel about going to space?
Well, we are just so happy that we could contribute to women and do this for women. Women haven't been to space.
Yeah, there's actually female astronauts.
Okay, well, that's different. They weren't pop stars.
I have a question.
Yes, you.
G-force usually takes years to prepare for it. How'd you handle it?
Yeah, the G-force was great. It was great. It was awesome. Next question.
Were you allowed to bring makeup to space?
And no, we didn't. Why?
G-force is quite intense. Astronauts take years to prepare for it, but your hair and makeup looked the exact same.
Yeah, we're just flawless. We're just flawless like that. Sorry. Next
Oh,
question.
wait,
How
that's
come
the
there
other
was
thing.
absolutely no footage, neither
They
on
believe
cell
that it
phone?
was faked.
What
Like
was
they didn't
that?
actually go into space. Like there's rumors that it was all
It's
all
fake.
fake.
Yeah.
Well, the Blue Origin
There's
doesn't
rumors.
have enough thrust to actually leave the atmosphere, so you're not going to face much G-force going up that high. So
You said thrust and it's shaped like a dick.
Yes. and there's a lot of women riding it.
Oh, this is too stupid.
Or news.
well,
Oh shit, that's fucking stupid. Wait, somebody in the chat said that they died of a heart attack, but no, this person is alleging that there's two. Like one of them died of a heart attack, and then there was another one that committed
That
suicide.
killed herself. Yeah, I don't know if that's who knows.
I don't know if that's
True
true.
with me because
That's what this person is alleging.
can't
Do
imagine.
we want to keep watching this?
You guys going up or down?
Yeah, that's just not our fault. We were quick. We were 11 minutes, guys. We broke a record.
Yeah, but there's no footage of a spaceship leaving our atmosphere that day.
I don't have the answer to that, actually. Next question.
Considering it takes years to prep for an exploration like this, you're sure you didn't fake it?
No. Who said that?
When the test spaceship exploded, that didn't make you guys go to NASA and Universal
No,
Studios and fake it?
No, we went to space, guys. We went to space.
Katie, over here.
Yes, last question.
Everyone knows you're lying, so can you give some details on what the training was like?
It was great. It was just great. You know what? I'm going to pass this off to somebody else, actually.
it would have been
Oh my
great if she
God.
ended it like nobody scrutinized Shatner this much.
I know. I
Yeah.
was. You know what's
Wow.
funny is I was just thinking that. I'm like, wasn't Shatner on the same kind of flight? Like nobody said that shit about him.
You remember what Shatner said too about space here? I'll find the exact quote.
He was very
Yeah, please do.
He was very moved by it.
Was he moved by the divine feminine? Was he like? It was like seeing the divine feminine up
don't know about
there.
No, it was very different. This is a man's perspective on space.
The divine masculine.
Yeah, there you go.
Or is it sharing?
Yeah, it is sharing.
My trip to space filled me with overwhelming sadness.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so the exact opposite of what Katy Perry said.
That is the exact opposite.
Yeah. Trying to get to
Why
if he said anything
did he
else.
get so sad? I'm confused.
The ground crew kept reassuring us all along the way everything's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Sure, easy for them to say. I thought they get to stay here on the ground. We were then escorted to a thick cement room, oxygen tanks. I'll find it. But yeah, no, it sounded very like for somebody that went into space, it was an interesting response.
Do they have the video of him talking to Bezos after he landed?
I think
Let's see
I think it's
I'll
out
see if
there.
I can find it. Let me
Oh,
see.
okay. Here's I continued my self-guided tour and turned my head to face the other direction to stare into space. I love the mystery of the universe. I love all the questions that have come to us over thousands of years of explanation and hypothesis. Stars exploding years ago, their light traveling to us years later, black holes absorbing energy, satellites showing us entire galaxies and areas thought to be devoid of matter entirely. All of that has thrilled me for years. But when I looked in the opposite direction, into space, there was no mystery, no majestic awe to behold. All I saw was death.
Wow.
So
It's like the void. Like he saw the void. You know, I've seen
Yeah.
that too. I seen it like years ago. I seen it twice in my life. Once I saw it in the cave of Alisag, but when you look into like because it's that never-ending cave and you look at it and it's like pitch black and it's like darkness. So when you see it and it's like it literally pulls you in. It's a really, really crazy thing. And one time I
Wow.
saw it in the ocean because we were like we went diving and I was like diving into the deep and then at some point you go a little too deep and you see like it's basically pitch black, like there's no light, there's nothing. And it's like the void and it pulls you in. It's like a calling and you just kind of want to go, but then you're like, you know, a part of you is like, no, I can't go because if I go, I'll die. And it's a frightening thing. It's something that kind of it is a spiritual thing, kind of when you see it.
Yeah,
You're
I
like, oh,
can't.
shit, it's the
I can't do
void.
the ocean, man. The ocean freaks me out. Like I seriously, I believe there's kaiju in the ocean. Like I really do. Like
I think you're right. I think you might be right. Here is William Shatner, his first remarks after he got down from, or when he came to the earth.
Everybody in the world needs to do this. Everybody in the world needs to see. It was unbelievable. I mean, you know, the little things of weightlessness. But to see the blue cover go whoop by, and now you're staring into blackness. That's the thing. The covering of blue, this sheet, this blanket, this comforter of blue that we have around us. We think, oh, that's blue sky. And then suddenly you shoot through it all of a sudden, as though you whip off a sheet off you when you're asleep. And you're looking into blackness, into black ugliness. And you look down, and there's the blue down there, and the black up there, and it's just, there is Mother and Earth and comfort. And there
Yes, he went feminine with it too.
death, I don't know. Was that death?
Mhm.
Is
He
that the
did,
way
Mother
death
Earth.
is? Whoop, and it's gone. Jeez.
To be fair, the
Dang.
Earth has never been called Father Earth.
No, that's
It's
true.
always
No.
been called Mother Earth.
Well, just the idea of I guess giving it a sex in any way.
He sounds like me, like when I'm doing shrooms in Joshua Tree, man. Like, it's like the earth, man. The earth. You don't understand. Like everything here was made for us. Like
Wow.
He seems to have he definitely has had an experience. Like that is a man who has had an experience. And then you have these people in the background just laughing. I can barely hear what he's saying.
Yeah, that's why I put on the subtitles, because I was like, I think we need subtitles. But do you guys want to keep going on it?
I think we get the gist of it.
Yeah, I think I've seen this
Yeah, the
before.
gist.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
no, look, I'm sure it's like a spiritual experience, right? To go above the earth and look down and see how little we really are and that whole thing. But I guess the thing with Katy Perry is like she's already people didn't like her before that. So after it didn't help her cause. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it did not help at all.
Because like you said, no one had a visceral reaction to him talking about it, right?
Yeah.
Well, it was the opposite, Verbal. It was quite the opposite, because he's
the
Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk. Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody was like, "Oh my God, Captain Kirk went to space." I know, I was. I even
the oldest man to get that high above the earth too. I mean,
I even covered it on Infinite Hope. Yeah, because I was like, "This is awesome that he went to space. Like that he was able to live his dream of actually becoming a captain in space. Like that's fucking cool." Versus Katy Perry, the pop star. Like nobody gives a shit.
Well, I think that's the thing of it is like, even with William Shatner, I mean, you could, he's an actor, but there's an association of like he played a guy who was in space.
Yeah.
So, like people are kind of like they're okay with that. But I feel like for a lot of these women that got to go on this trip, people feel like it's a little bit of a slap in the face to people who have actually done the hard work, or
and also
there's only so many people that get to do this. So it's like, out of all the people that get to make this trip from time to time, out of all the people you choose, Katy Perry, Katy Perry, like that's why I think people are having the reaction, because it's like William Shatner. Okay, I mean that kind of.
But also he's
sense.
old. He's also old. So
True.
you're like, okay, this old man who's lived his life. This is one of the last things he's probably going to get to do.
Another
you know what I
point.
mean?
Yep.
He was like 92 when he went up there, which is like crazy, because he's like 94 now.
That's an achievement on its own, right? Because you're like, okay, this is a very old man. He's going into space. Like it's like an achievement. Whereas you're in the prime of your life, Katy Perry. Like you don't need to go to fucking space. It's like
you do need to go to a hairdresser. Get rid of the bangs. It's always a bad sign.
I agree. But also the next one who's going, you guys, is one of the Kardashians. She's going. I think Kendall Jenner is going with Tom Cruise and a bunch of black people who I don't know. I'm
Tom
sorry.
Cruise
I
is
was like, I
sucking
didn't
because
know
he
all
wants to
these
make a
black
movie in
people.
space.
Now, here's the thing about Tom Cruise, where it's like I think people are more accepting of Tom Cruise going, because here's a guy. He's
jumping out of planes.
Exactly. He's done risky shit. For a good part of his career. And so it's like, this just seems like the next obvious step for him.
I just hope that it doesn't blow up with Tom Cruise in it, because that's not a good way to go. Because he's done
Don't
so much
say
other
that,
good stuff.
script doctor. God damn it.
I didn't even think of that.
I'd rather him go up on SpaceX than on Blue Origin, because SpaceX has less accidents.
You know what? You're right about that. Let's see who's going on.
That would be such a
the
disaster.
next
Like if
Blue Origin
anybody want to
flight. I'll tell you the names, because there was a list of people and I was like, I don't know any of these people are.
Then again, with all these planes crashing and everything going wrong, I think people are more afraid to fly than ever.
Well, I mean, the reporting on the plane crashings has gone up a little more. The frequency has been rather normal.
Really? Okay.
Which is actually kind of tragic, because it's like, wait, why weren't you reporting these beforehand? Why only now?
Right.
There's too many. Oh, people are saying this is a rumor now that Tom Cruise and Kendall Jenner and what was it, Thug Young or something, Young Thug?
Yeah, he's a rapper, obviously.
Yeah, Young Thug. Yeah. They're saying there's no evidence, so it's not okay, so we don't know if that's true. But it's been unconfirmed. This was the thing that I saw as well. Hold on, let me share my screen. And now they're saying that that's just like a random rumor somebody started on X. So this is from the Daily Loud. Young Thug will be the next artist launched into space, and then it was Kendall Jenner and Tom Cruise and a bunch of other Black people I didn't know. I was like, I don't know who any of these people are, but I can't click on this now. But this was from Blue Origin, the account.
Supposedly.
So is that not true then? I'm confused.
I don't know. I just feel like I have no desire to go into space.
No, there's nothing up there yet. So like,
There's nothing
I have
up
no
there yet.
desire.
I used to have like such a huge desire to go, not anymore.
I wanted to go to explore, but when I realized, oh wait, it's going to take centuries to actually get somewhere. It's like,
to get anywhere.
Yeah,
You're like,
An
"Oh,
entire
man."
lifetime.
yeah, I'm just going to stay here. I mean,
Yeah,
listen,
that's
I love the
all
idea
good.
of colonizing Mars, but any humans that are born on that planet will never be able to live on Earth because the gravity of their is so much weaker that they would develop for that gravity, and then when they come here, their heart will explode. So
Yeah, they'll be crushed.
You're sentencing them to not be part of our species anymore if you just colonize it now. But if you figure out a way to put Earth gravity on Mars, then you skip that big problem.
Dude, we don't even know how to get rid of our garbage properly, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, the whole idea of like just the idea of hauling all the stuff you would actually need to colonize a planet to even start that process is just, it seems so incredibly overwhelming.
No, you'd have
Daunting.
to develop the technology here first in order for it to be valuable anywhere else.
Right.
You can't just go there and start working on the tech. It's like the whole garbage thing. It's like you need a more effective way of recycling or repurposing that waste so that it can be useful in some manner for development. And you can't just do that by saying, we're going to Mars. You got to be like, no, we got to do that first. So then we can say, now we can go to Mars and repurpose whatever's we find there into something that we can build from.
Last thing I'm going to point out before we call it is that the Warriors lost, and I'm extremely happy. Thank God. Hopefully there'll be another 2 games.
They still
and
lead the
Warriors
series.
will be
Nina.
out. I know.
They're gonna win, I think.
I hope they don't.
Yeah, obviously as a Laker fan, I have to always root against Golden State. So
Lakers are in trouble, aren't they?
Yeah, Lakers are in
down?
trouble
Are they down
tonight.
3-1?
I know.
Are they about to lose
and
this
that's where
series?
that's where we're gonna go end the show now,
looks
is
like it.
because I'm going to watch the Lakers show. And
You're gonna watch LeBron. You want to see LeBron. You're only gonna
Just to see
watch
LeBron
it because-
lose.
just to see LeBron lose.
That's
You just
right.
hate watching.
I hate watch. My team this year, to be fair, my team this year, the people I've been rooting for are actually Minnesota and Denver. I really like Jokic. So I do have people I like. I like Ant-Man and I like Jokic.
But you're probably the only person I know who hate watches basketball.
Really?
Like,
I think there's people that hate watch. Come on. There's got to be.
I mean,
People
I'll start watching if the Pistons actually make it. They
There
make
was
the
a-
run.
There was a old. They're doing good right now. I mean,
Yeah,
they-
no,
I
they're.
hope.
It's a
I mean,
win.
that was a
This
crazy
season- no,
game, man. It's been a good
season,
game.
This season is a win. It's a win for them for sure. Like any way you cut it, man. They had such a terrible season last year.
I don't know if you watched that game, but the refs fucked them over, man. Like that
That's
last
right.
call.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That was rough. The NBA had to put out a statement saying like we fucked up on
Yeah.
that one.
Wow, really? It was that
Yeah,
bad?
it was that bad.
It-
that
it
bad.
was that bad. It
So
was
it should be 3-2
awful.
us
Because they
but
never
it-
do that.
Yeah, it's bad when they're
It
admitting that
was
they
so
messed up.
bad.
But
It was so bad.
I'm just following hockey right now, so not basketball.
Well, you're Canadian,
yeah, I
so
haven't
that makes
followed.
that
I
makes
know.
sense.
I need to follow hockey more. The Blue Origin for $1.99 says, "I get you up and going."
There's too many jokes about that ship.
It looks like a massive dick.
I mean, it really does.
Well, Jeff
And then you have
Bezos.
the
really does.
women inside of it, which is kind of crazy. But
I mean, this
Well,
is
that's just full of
probably
double
the,
X chromosomes now.
this
true.
is look at this picture. Okay, like this looks Like,
No,
what
it
does
looks
this
like
look
it looks
like?
like a dildo. I mean, it's
It
Yeah.
literally looks
Very
like a massive
clearly,
dildo.
yeah,
very phallic.
very
Very
incredibly
phallic.
I'm
phallic.
surprised they're not pretending to lean against it like it's the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Oh God.
Oh, that is so lame. Oh God. Okay, let's all go watch the Laker game. Thank you everybody for watching the show tonight. You guys have been fantastic. Special thanks to those of you who super chatted, became a member, gifted memberships, all that good stuff. Thank you for supporting the channel in the way that you do. But before I go, I'm going to give an outro to all my hosts tonight, my co-hosts. John Talks, what you got going on?
You can watch my videos on my channel, John Talks 2, and yeah, for now that's about it. I'll let you guys know if I anything else when it happens.
Awesome.
And I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you. And then we got Verbal Riot, aka Dante. What you got
guys
going
can
on?
find me at Verbal Riot on YouTube, Rumble, and X. I just dropped a video of my review of the Thunderbolts, so you can catch that right now. It's very spoiler, so if you don't mind spoilers, then definitely watch it. I even spoiled the end credits because the end credits are very retarded. And you can also catch me tomorrow night, or not tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon with the Critical Drinker at 1 p.m. California time. And then my own show, VRL, at 6 p.m. PST.
Ooh, Critical Drinker. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. Did he see it? Did he like it? Do you know?
No, he hasn't seen it yet.
He hasn't seen it.
Yeah, he wants me to hop on and talk about it.
Cool.
Cool.
Script Doctor. Dude, we have to talk about the Canadian elections at some point as well.
What happened? What
Oh,
happened,
my
man?
God.
Like,
Oh.
gosh.
So we had two WF puppets running on this virtually identical platforms, and and the one that wasn't a career politician won,
Yeah,
which I knew was going to happen because Canadians do hate career politicians.
that's true.
So
it
now that
actually happened exactly what I thought it was going to happen.
which is
Sorry,
it's funny now, for the first time in his adult life, a 45-year-old politician has to get a real job.
Ouch.
Yes, he does. Yes,
But
he
it's most
does.
likely going to be a podcast, so that doesn't really.
Yeah, but it's true. Both of them were WFE fucking
yeah,
assholes, and Carney's even worse. I mean, this guy, he's gonna be
he's not great. I mean,
gonna be a mess.
Probably would have had a bit more chance with Polyev, but he this is a guy who, since he took office, he's failed at every task he has ever been laid before him, except for his desire to become the leader of the party, to try and become prime minister. And then he gets to lead the party, but he fails at that. So with that track record, I mean, geez, I think it still would have been a disaster either way. I'm glad it's a minority government, even though it's like very close to getting a majority bunch of votes in the House. But it does give a probability that there could be another election within the next 18 months. So,
wow,
I hope so.
I'm hoping so as well.
But I'm also glad that it was a minority government, because that means they don't get along, and that means like not a lot of bullshit might happen. So that's good.
And the NDP lost party status, so that means the only thing they can do is vote. And
I heard Jagmeet Singh is gone. I was very happy about that.
So right now we are technically held hostage by the two minority parties in parliament, because you need them in order to get legislation passed. And those parties, you have to vote in the party. And if you don't vote in the party, you are kicked out of the party and become an independent, in which case you lose your seat, most likely on a by-election. So that means that whatever party, whether it's the Conservatives or Liberals, if they want to do something, they have to win over either the NDP or the Bloc. And both of those parties now hate both of the other party, all the parties now. So we might be okay by the skin of our teeth, I'm hoping.
Wow.
So it's not a great position to be in, but it is better than having a majority of either.
It's true.
Of either
it's
party.
True.
John
Jawa Trader says Aussie elections this weekend. Fingers crossed. Wow.
Cross my fingers for you guys. I hope you're able to get further ahead than we did.
Yeah, and I hope that you're not gonna elect another fucking crazy bitch like you did last time. Like, that bitch was nuts. All right. Script Doctor, anything else you want to plug before we go?
This Saturday on Script on Saturdays, myself and my co-host will be reviewing a screenplay, which is a sci-fi body swap meets indecent proposal called Timeshare. So we're going to find out if that script is good or not. but it does sound like it have an interesting premise. And for those of you out there that are wondering, hey, why does Hollywood not write anything original stuff? Well, my channel, every Saturday, I show you something that is not an IP based. That's usually an original idea. And you can come get some a palate cleanser by listening to us talk about that story there. So please swing on by.
Yeah.
Always love to have everyone there, whether you watch it live or on the replay. Have fun.
There you go. And as for me, you can find me on this channel for the Friday stream, Good News, Infinite Hope, and follow the channel, Good News, Infinite Hope, on it's in the pinned comment as well as in the description. It's doing good. We had one viral video, which was helpful. So thank you, everybody. And go watch the videos on there and get some hope back into your hearts. Because I do that. I try to remind you that there's good things going on out there. Until next time, everybody, have a good one. Bye.
Take care.